president of insurance operations. Jeff, we've talked about cybercrime before. In fact, you were the first person I thought of when we learned of this major healthcare system with many of our own doctors, clinics, and hospitals attacked.
Thank you, Vince. It's great to be here again. Yes, that massive attack is wreaking havoc both on the employees and the patients. Their systems have been down for several weeks. It sounds like chaos. The FBI director has called cybercrime and cyber attacks the defining threat of our generation. Data breach, ransomware, network vulnerabilities, funds transfer fraud, everything and anything that's connected is a target. It boils down to working with an experienced cybercrime specialist. Protect yourself or your business. If your agent doesn't understand the tactics of a cyber threat actor, he or she is going to be of little value after an event.
So let's get into it a little bit. What are some of the expenses that would be covered by a typical cyber insurance policy?
Cyber insurance policies, Vince, vary greatly policy to policy. It's essential you choose coverage that aligns with your business's specific need and risk profile. But here's just a few examples. It can provide financial protection to help restore systems, recover lost data, even hardware replacement.
And why should a business then work with R&R Insurance?
Vince, at R&R Insurance, our dedicated cybercrime insurance team has been in place for almost 10 years. We have some of the best cybercrime experts in the marketplace. We understand the risks and can custom design a cybercrime program that will protect you and your business. And in the event a loss does occur, we'll be there to support you every step along the way.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Looking for the perfect place for your kids to spend time outside this summer? Wisconsin Farmers Union Youth Camp in Chippewa Falls offers the perfect environment for your child to experience the great outdoors, learn new skills, make lifelong friendships, and have fun. Located at Camp Kenwood on beautiful Lake Wissota near Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin Farmers Union Youth Camp has options for campers of every age or experience. They offer day camps and single night camps for beginner campers and 4 to 5 day camps for more experienced campers. All camp sessions are geared towards children and teens from ages 7 to 17. While at Farmers Union Camp, campers will divide into an unplugged camp session full of games and outdoor activities that not only bring the fun, but also teach lifelong lessons about agriculture, sustainability, leadership, civic engagement, cooperatives, and so much more. All camp sessions are under $200, and there are also scholarships available. For more information and registration, go to wisconsinfarmersunion.com and click on Camp Kenwood.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct Summer Sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
It was a sobering headline. Social Security to run short by 2035. A possible 17% reduction in benefits. At Annex Wealth Management, we feel that Social Security is only one leg of the retirement stool, but it provides needed balance. It's time to stress test your retirement plan and move forward with guidance from the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex. Do it for you, your family, your legacy. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It only takes a few minutes to get the ball rolling. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's morning news for Thursday, July 18th. Our top story, an untimely diagnosis for the president.
I'm Debbie Lazago, westbound on 94, right about at 25th Street. Looks like we've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash to start things off. Otherwise, a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder right around 13th Street, just as you're getting into the Marquette. And the rest of the system is looking pretty good, not seeing any other delays. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Quite comfortable again today in your storm team forecast. Highs in the low 70s. It'll be plenty sunny out as well. Lows tonight down to the upper 50s to around 60, mid-70s and partly sunny for your Friday. Right now 58 in Milwaukee at 6:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, just as President Joe Biden was doubling down on offering messaging of his own to counter the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, a COVID-19 diagnosis. This new pause from the campaign comes as new and more powerful voices from within the Democratic Party say he should leave the race altogether. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill.
The highest profile Democrat to date is calling for Biden to leave the race. California Congressman Adam Schiff, in a statement, says he has serious concerns about whether the president can defeat Donald Trump in November. The concern on Capitol Hill, as a new national poll finds 7 out of 10 adults say President Biden should withdraw from the race, including 65% of Democrats. 26% of Republicans say former President Trump should leave the GOP ticket.
Democrats have set early August for a roll call vote to formally name Biden as the Democratic nominee ahead of their upcoming convention in Chicago. Meanwhile, delegates at Fiserv Forum for the RNC reacting to the news that President Biden has COVID. Donna Williams of North Carolina telling WTMJ.
I think it's another step of them pushing him out the door. That's what I think.
Biden says he is self-isolating in Delaware. The White House says he is dealing with mild symptoms. The main highlight from day 3 of the convention, GOP vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance accepting his party's nomination.
J.D. Vance said Joe Biden has spent decades backing moves that have undermined American workers. From NAFTA to the Iraq War, Vance said Biden was wrong, while Donald Trump was right.
Joe Biden screwed up, and my community paid the price.
2 weeks shy of his 40th birthday, Vance paid an emotional tribute to his mother, who struggled with addiction when he was a child, but has been sober for nearly a decade.
I love you, Mom.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News at the GOP convention in Milwaukee.
President Biden has called the Republican VP pick a clone of Trump on the issues. Others wonder whether a woman or someone of color would have made the Trump ticket stronger. Delegates here in Milwaukee explaining why Vance is the man.
J.D. Vance wasn't everyone's VP pick, but now that he's Trump's, the GOP is backing him.
Donald Trump knows who he wants, and that's what he does. And whatever Donald Trump goes with, I back Donald Trump up 100%.
Vernon Ford is visiting Milwaukee from Hawaii. He kept tabs on Vance early on. Others are just learning about him, like Angela O'Neill of Alabama.
This is a 12-year VP pick. You're picking someone as future president. Go around next time.
And Daniel Ferraci, in town from Texas, confronts the clone chatter.
Don't think he is a clone of Trump. There are no clones of Trump, let's be honest.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a summary of other stories we're following today, including a fire that continues to burn on the city's north side. Sighing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Our house was looking kind of drab. Needed a little bit of a facelift, and I found the team that took care of it big time. It's CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will come out and help you protect your home investment with quality painting. It's CertaPro Painters. They are the real deal. They did great work at our house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like 40-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seeds, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Assorted Hillman Hardware, 20% off for rewards members. Get $3 reward savings on select Blaine's brand dog food. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our Rewards Member Appreciation Event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Wait now or wait a little longer. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help make the right decision for your situation. You spent decades paying in. Optimize what comes out. Drake & Associates can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Claim your free Retirement Ready Toolkit that has guides on Social Security. To get our complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at brewers.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 6:06. Don't ask the Packers quarterback Jordan Love about his contract situation. He'll put a stop to that talk quick. We'll have that plus more in sports coming up at 6:15. Other stories we're following this morning. Crews are still on scene on Milwaukee's west side for a large church fire where flames continue to spurt from a building that's now being used as a learning center. TMJ4's Brendan Jones on scene near 39th and Lisbon.
I spoke to a neighbor, Deanna Young, who says she lives in the building right next to where this fire is taking place, and she got woken up this morning around 1 by the smoke.
You could just smell it, but then it started getting stronger and stronger. Then my house is all full of smoke from the fire. And then the firemen were banging on my door. They told us had to come out, so I came out of the porch.
The fire has been burning since around 1 o'clock this morning. Also overnight, Milwaukee police firing shots at an individual for the second time in 2 days near 43rd and Sherman, near Capitol and Sherman on the city's north side. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says a suspect wanted in a double shooting fired shots at officers from inside a Citgo gas station.
Suspect ran out of the store and fired numerous shots at officers, at which time several officers returned fire, subsequently striking the suspect.
The 22-year-old male suspect arrested and is expected to survive. The 3 officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. Meanwhile, no charges will be filed against the Columbus, Ohio police officers who shot and killed a man brandishing knives on Tuesday near 14th and Fleet, west of the Republican National Convention's soft security perimeter. Milwaukee County Chief Deputy District Attorney Kent Lovern tells WTMJ a review of the evidence, including officer body cam video, indicates no violation of Wisconsin criminal law. In the wake of the shooting, Milwaukee police officers will now accompany all out-of-state law enforcement on patrols for the remainder of the RNC. And there are new details this morning on the man arrested just blocks from Pfizer Forum for carrying a weapon on Monday.
A Scream movie mask, black gloves, spray paint, and empty marijuana bags. Those are some of the items that Homeland Security and U.S. Capitol Police found inside a large tactical backpack that 21-year-old Donnell Tinsley was carrying while wearing a ski mask near the RNC security perimeter. The criminal complaint says the weapon inside the bag was an AK-47 pistol. Tinsley was walking south on 11th Street away from an RNC checkpoint when security personnel noticed him. Tinsley did not have a concealed carry permit for his weapon. He's been charged with a misdemeanor for carrying a concealed weapon. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 6:09.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
While those two go on and on, let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How was that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply on 7/31/2024.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at Sendix.com/Hatch.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926 at 610. Get us started, Debbie.
All right, westbound 94, right about at 25th Street. Looks like we've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash. And then eastbound 94 at about 13th Street. Looks like there was a broken down vehicle off on the left shoulder. They are still working on that, so watch for those delays. Otherwise, really, overall, we don't really have any delays. Volume's just starting to wake up. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine as a high pressure rolls up above us for today. We'll see high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Low humidity with just a couple afternoon clouds mixing in. Tonight, clear skies as temperatures drop back down into the lower 60s near the lake, 50s inland. Friday, we'll look for more sunshine throughout the day. High temperatures near 80. Saturday, a couple degrees warmer, reaching back into the lower 80s with partly cloudy skies. On Sunday, we'll see partly cloudy skies, a slight uptick in humidity. Small chance for an afternoon shower with high temperatures in the lower 80s. On Monday, we'll keep the same theme going. Partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the lower 80s with a slight chance for a shower. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 59 degrees.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Tonight, the culmination. Years of planning, primaries and caucuses in every state and U.S. territory. Days of this convention here in Milwaukee. Tonight, the nominee, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, takes the stage and accepts the nomination for president in this 2024 election. Erik and I had an opportunity to be at Fiserv Forum to see Trump in his walkthrough on stage. Tell you about that in a moment. First, can you tell what they're chanting there?
JD's mom.
JD's mom. Not an insult. they loved her. Fiserv Forum crowd chanting JD's mom. A name, the pick, first revealed here in Milwaukee only on Monday. Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, accepting the nomination for vice president in his primetime speech on the convention floor here last night. Born in a small town in Ohio, grew up poor. His backstory, a big reason for the choice. His mother in the audience.
Our movement is about single moms like mine who struggled with money and addiction but never gave up. And I'm proud to say that tonight my mom is here. 10 years, clean and sober. I love you, Mom.
I was in the hall Monday, Erik, when word first filtered through the delegations that Senator Vance was the pick.
Yeah, that he was the guy.
Yeah, and the immediate reaction I would describe as a bit tepid. Like,
yeah.
Vance? Yeah. A lot of other people had others on their list, but delegates, Republicans here in Milwaukee, have warmed to it. WTMJ's Jessica Ty spoke with some of them. This woman's from Alabama.
This is a 12-year VP pick. They're picking someone as future president. Go around next time.
He's only 39 years old. She's making the point. Is it J.D. Vance who takes the stage Thursday night instead of Wednesday in 2028? Let's not worry about 2028 just yet, but her point well taken.
Long way to go.
As for the moment tonight, we're inside the hall as former President Donald Trump got the feel for the stage. Let's take you in there.
For some reason or another, they've turned out the lights now. Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of people talking, and we can see him. He's right out there on stage.
Right there.
What possibly could they be saying to him right now?
Schematics.
Right.
Trying to figure out exactly where you would walk and who you're going to wave to and which.
He's 10 feet from the podium. It's right there. Like, that's the podium, sir, and there is the hall.
Yeah, just a lot of directing and a lot of pointing.
So I will point out, too, that you hear how loud Vince is. Like, everyone can hear him.
I shouldn't be allowed out.
Please. Turn the lights on, please.
They turned off the lights and then we couldn't see anything.
So everyone's standing around us in the little gallery area trying to, catch a shot or two.
Here's this clown from Milwaukee who won't shut up about the lights.
They've been doing
What are
this
they
for a while.
talking
He's
about?
been actually doing hand gestures, familiar gestures the president makes when he's speaking publicly. He's doing those right now. I don't know if they're rehearsing it or...
So at that moment, former President Trump is at the podium. He's moving his hands around, gesturing just as if he were giving the speech. I don't know what that particular part was about, but it was interesting.
Yeah, he clearly does that. That's not for show. He was doing it, quote unquote, off the record.
Right, certainly trying to get a feel for where the teleprompters are. Okay, if I look over here to the left and I want to address these folks over here, then where are the words? Where are the words in the center? Which is pretty standard for, you and I do that when we talk at a ballroom somewhere for a fundraiser.
You just know where things are.
Okay, want to get the lay of the land. That's what that was, but it was an interesting process to be a part of. Today's theme for the Republican National Convention's final day in Milwaukee, Make America Great Once Again. 6:15, sports up next.
Now is the best time to sell your home, even if it's less than perfect. Summer is the easiest time to move, and the market is ripe. Grandview Homes buys homes and will pay more for your home right now than ever before. Our offer is good as long as the market doesn't change. Plus, we'll buy your home as is in any condition. No repairs or cleanouts needed. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Nothing worse than a contractor's job dragging on for weeks. At 2-Day Painting, they handle it all, and I know they were in my house. Vince Vitrano here with a summer special offer from 2-Day Painting. Great time to get that exterior work done, and there's still room for you on the schedule. Not only painted, but also fixed up. 2-Day Painting can handle cracked or missing caulk, rotten wood, peeling paint, often a problem with some older homes before the winter comes, and then these problems all of a sudden get even worse on you. And because they put a full crew on every job, you don't have, well, we got wood guy coming this day and then one painter here and one person there. No, they do it all, and they get your project done in a timely manner. Of course, the work is beautiful as well. And here's the deal. Take advantage of the summer special. It's 15% off the cost of your project when you tell them Vinny sent you. And there's more. 10% back, up to $1,000 to spend on a winter job, something to do inside the house later this year. 262-706-1135, 262-706-1135, 2-Day Painting, that's 2daypainting.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Sneaking up on us, the Green Bay Packers open training camp already next week. And still no long-term deal for the quarterback, Jordan Love. ESPN's Adam Schefter believes that deal is going to happen.
Well, the Packers veterans report to camp on Sunday. That is the day that they report, which means they're on field next week. And I think that the two sides continue to talk. And I think that eventually they're going to figure out a way to get this done.
That's Schefter on ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Love is under contract currently through this season. That first training camp practice is Monday, also same day as the Packers shareholder meeting. So big day up in Green Bay come Monday.
One of your favorite days.
The shareholders meeting?
As an owner?
One and done, I think, as an owner. That was fine. I saw it.
Okay. This is like one of the slowest, deadest days in sports now that we don't have any baseball today. Baseball returns on Friday for the Major League following the All-Star break, but not the Brewers. The Brewers don't come until Saturday. So let's talk trade deadline. So the deadline this year is July 30th at 5 p.m. Central Time. What will the Crew do? Well, they may have already done it. Trading for a Rays pitcher, Aaron Savali, could be their big get because everyone's looking for pitching. MLB reporter Adam McCulvey on Wisconsin's Morning News last Friday.
I think the Brewers feel really good about adding that arm already, and I think they will continue to look for starting pitching. But it's got to be a long list because you don't know who's going to become available, and you know that it is going to come down to the wire, and you need to be prepared to make any number of deals at the last minute when the sellers finally are willing to sell.
Now, one name being thrown around is Rockies pitcher Cal Quantrill, who hasn't had like the best season, but doesn't matter. When there's a lot of people that are looking for arms and not a lot of sellers, that could be one that the Brewers consider, but it could cost quite a bit. Again, the deadline is July 30th. Brewers and Twins start as they return from the break on Saturday.
I'm not interested in making a deal for a mediocre, overpaying for a mediocre middle-of-the-road person.
I know. But, I mean, maybe it's because he's in Colorado. That's why he's had a kind of an up-and-down season.
All right, well, who are you going to give up?
Right.
Don't mess with the clubhouse, right? We've seen that movie.
Yes, we have.
6:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Hey, coming up next, really interesting interviewer. WTMJ's Julia Fellow caught up with the guy who took the photo, the now iconic already photo. Former President Trump, his hand in the air, blood on his face right after the attempt on his life. We hear what was going through that photographer's mind at the moment and how he said, I didn't decide this was the photo. That story next.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Got to give a shout-out to my medical team at Ortho Wisconsin. You know, my knee's been bothering me again. And I reached out to my docs there and I said, number one, I'm playing really good golf and tennis right now, and I do not want to stop. Okay, why are you laughing at me? Tennis tonight, Thursday night tennis.
I mean, if you're in pain, you could just take a break. But
not an option. And these docs, they respect that, okay? They're there to help you do what it is that you want to do. So I'm like, you got to keep me in the game. And plus, I knew we were going to be doing a ton of walking this week. Walk over here, walk over there, whatever. Like, you got to help me get through this. Now, if ultimately we decide, we do some imaging and decide, hey, maybe there's another surgery in your future, then fine. But for right now, they knew what was important to me, and that was to keep playing, if at all possible, and to make sure that I could get around. And I really want to shout them out because the plan that we put together in order to make that happen is working. Consult with the medical team at Ortho Wisconsin for what's ailing you. Talk about these docs are going to listen to you. Find out what your priorities are. What is it that you want in terms of your quality life? And then they lay out a menu of options that are based not on what's best for revenue, for how they can make the most money, but what's best for your health. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Menard Steel Roofing is the last roof you'll ever need. It offers superior wind and hail resistance. Plus, it can help you save money on cooling costs. Steel Roofing is also available in cut-to-your-length panels for a fast installation. Save big on steel roofing when you shop at Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Save big money at Menards.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
How are the roads looking there, Debbie Lazaga?
Not too bad. Starting to see a little bit more volume out there. We do have an accident westbound 94 right around 25th Street off on the right shoulder, but it doesn't seem to be causing too much of an issue. Westbound 894 a little bit tight just west of Loomis heading towards 68th Street. Rest of the system looking nice and quiet. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
By the way, don't assume that tomorrow everything's just going to be gone and all of a sudden it'll be easy to drive around. It'll be a day or two.
I checked at the vehicle checkpoint today and asked them, like, at least, we're gonna break it down tomorrow, but in the morning, expect this to still be here.
Sunny, could see some clouds later on today, a high of 76. Tonight, clear, cool, a low of 61. Friday, sunny, 80. Saturday, 83. Sunday, could see some humidity return and a slight chance for rain, a high of 81. 59 degrees at 6:24.
Live inside UWM Panther Arena, this final day of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Erik, Bilstad, Vince Vitrano here with you on Wisconsin's Morning News. The moment it changed the campaign, perhaps the direction of the country. We've all seen the video, the assassination attempt on former President Trump. You've likely seen the photo. And the one we're talking about specifically here is the still picture. It tells the story kind of on its own. Right after former President Trump was shot, blood is on his face. You can see it now if you text photo to the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. We also have the photo up on our live stream as well if you're watching along with us from inside the arena. Our Julia Fellow talked with the photographer for the Associated Press who took that photo.
I knew the second that this had started that probably the most important thing I'd ever cover, so I was just trying to do a good job, stay in the moment, keep a level head.
That's chief photographer for the Associated Press, Evan Vucci, who took the photo of former President Donald Trump moments after an assassination attempt. It shows blood streaked across the former president's face, his ear bloodied, and pumping his fist in the air with the American flag behind him. The award-winning photographer shared moment by moment how he ended up taking this photo.
President Trump walked on, and I had my long lens on, and over my left shoulder I heard several pops.
Take a look at what happened.
I knew immediately it was gunfire, so as I looked through my long lens, I saw Secret Service agents beginning to rush towards the president. I made a few frames of that, and then I ran to the stage, and I got my wide-angle lens, and I just started photographing everything I could.
Today's technology got the photo of Trump's bloodied face published within minutes.
My cameras that are plugged into an Ethernet cable, and it's going to my editors. So I'll take a few photos, and I'll hit a button to send the photos to my desk. By the time President Trump had been put into the SUV, so I had 36 photos out to my desk, and I was just happy that I did the job. You know, you never know how people are going to react to anything that you do.
Former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson believes this photo resembles another moment in history.
And putting his arm in there and saying, fight, with blood running down, the American flag behind it, that's an iconic photo, just like Iwo Jima.
Vucci, however, believes it is up to each person to take away what they see in the photo of a former president seconds after an assassination attempt.
I can't control how people would react to anything. I was just glad that I was able to do the job.
And this award-winning photographer will be snapping more photos of former President Trump when he takes the stage tonight in Milwaukee. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Again, the photo's up. Text photo to our WTMJ talk and text line. We'll send that out to you, taken by that photographer who is this week in town in Milwaukee. I thought it was also interesting. He said, look, I sent it to the editors. They decided what to publish,
which one
what
to
was
take.
the one.
Yep. You wonder now tonight, does he still have a bandage on his ear tonight? He's been wearing that white bandage all week. Does he keep it on tonight?
I'm telling you, man, it's the Michael Jackson glove.
The more you wear it.
Yes, he's going to wear it. Other people are going to wear it.
And other people are starting to wear it.
Right. 627 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average still climbing. Up another 243 points to 41,198. The NASDAQ tumbled more than 500 points, almost 2 3/4% to 17,997, and the S&P 500 closed at 5588. That was off about 79 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Are you passionate about supporting family farmers and strengthening rural communities? Well, look no further than the Wisconsin Farmers Union. WFU is a grassroots, member-driven organization committed to enhancing the quality of life for family farmers, rural communities, and all people. With chapters across the state, we unite farmers and rural allies around shared values and a vision for a better, more sustainable future. We tackle the big issues, from advocating for climate-smart agriculture and dairy policy reform to preserving our small and mid-sized farms. We're dedicated to building resilient food systems that benefit everyone. That's not all. We're also championing better access to quality health care and health insurance for farmers and rural communities alike, because we believe that everyone deserves the care they need to thrive. So whether you're a farmer, a rural resident, or simply someone who cares about the future of our state, join us at Wisconsin Farmers Union. Visit wisconsinfarmersunion.com to learn more and get involved today. Wisconsin Farmers Union, growing stronger together.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
6:30, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Thursday, July 18th. Our top story, RNC reaction to President Biden's COVID diagnosis.
I'm Debbie Laziga, westbound on 94, right about at 25th Street. We've got that accident off on the right shoulder. Folks are handling it pretty well. I'm not seeing any delays on that roadway, although westbound 894 is slowing down as usual through the construction zone from 27th to 68. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
COVID, taking Paxlovid, symptoms said to be mild. Division among the Democratic Party, however, about his re-election. Here's ABC's Perry Russum.
According to ABC News contributor and political reporter Rachel Bade, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told Biden last week that she and other Democratic lawmakers worry he's dragging down the party. A Pelosi ally saying the speaker does not want to call on him to resign, but she will do everything in her power to make sure it happens.
At the Republican National Convention, Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance delivered his acceptance speech last night. Donald Trump will do the same this evening. His wife Melania and daughter Ivanka will be in the audience. Many questions about the lapses in security at Trump's Pennsylvania rally. Officials say the man who tried to assassinate him and did kill a Trump supporter was spotted 20 minutes before he took his first shots. Head of the Secret Service has agreed to testify Monday as she faces growing calls to resign. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:31. It is day 4 of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, and at the RNC, delegates learning that President Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. Dixon Wolf from Green Bay tells WTMJ he's wishing the president well.
Obviously, I don't agree with his policies or what he stands for, but I would never wish any ill on the president, whoever he is.
Biden is self-isolating in Delaware. The White House says he is dealing with mild symptoms. Another symptom of the RNC appears to be a lack in business for several downtown restaurants and other establishments. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is hearing from several downtown businesses who say they're not getting the RNC bounce they hoped for. Dan Wolf is a bartender at Elsa's on Cathedral Square. He says his regulars are skipping the week and visitors aren't coming in.
Yeah, normally I see them every Monday, Tuesday.
Did you expect a bigger crowd with the convention?
Definitely expected a bigger crowd, yes.
Elsa's is outside of the security footprint for the RNC. Other stories we're following this morning, crews remain on scene on Milwaukee's west side for a large fire at an old church converted into a learning center. TMJ4's Brendan Jones on scene near 39th and Lisbon still.
I spoke to a neighbor, Deanna Young, who says she lives in the building right next to where this fire is taking place, and she got woken up this morning around 1 by the smoke.
You could just smell it, but then it started stronger and stronger. Then my house is all full of smoke from the fire. And then the firemen were banging on my door and told us I had to come out, so I came out of the porch.
The fire has been burning since 1 o'clock this morning. Live look at the fire right now shows most of the flames appear to have been put out, but smoke continues to billow from the building as crews continue to spray water onto the scene. Meanwhile, Milwaukee police firing shots at an individual near 43rd near Capitol and Sherman on the city's north side overnight around 10:30 p.m. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman saying a suspect wanted in a double shooting fired shots at officers from inside a gas station. When the suspect attempted to flee, officers returned fire. The 22-year-old male suspect was arrested and is expected to survive. The 3 officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. And no charges will be filed against the Columbus, Ohio police officers who shot and killed a man brandishing knives on Tuesday near 14th and Vliet. Milwaukee County Chief Deputy District Attorney Kent Laverne tells WTMJ a review of the evidence, including officer body camera video, indicates no violation of Wisconsin criminal law. Some changes have been made to out-of-state law enforcement patrols during the RNC. In the wake of the shooting, Milwaukee police officers will now accompany all out-of-state law enforcement on patrols. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, receive 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions!
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer! No, it's a two-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game! That's the stuff of legend.
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, John Mercure here. CertaPro painters are the best in the business. I know they did my house, and it looks fantastic. Worry-free. Start with a free estimate. It's CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here, interior or exterior, for your home or your business. They're quick. They're easy. They're affordable. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're the real deal. I trust them at my house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Green Bay Packers open their training camp already next week. Still no new deal for Packers quarterback Jordan Love. We'll get into it in sports at 6:45. Back live inside UWM Panther Arena, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano here on Wisconsin's Morning News. I just want to clarify a story that we had at the bottom of the hour news. The decision on charges with regard to the Columbus police officers who shot and killed a man here in Milwaukee has not yet been reached. The charging decision was a different incident that occurred here in Milwaukee, and in that particular case, no charges will be filed. But still an open question as to whether any charges will be filed by the Milwaukee District Attorney's Office in regards to the shooting that occurred here in Milwaukee.
6:37. So The Bear, the restaurant TV series, the hottest comedy going right now. But the question is, Vince, is it a comedy?
With the Emmy nominations Wednesday morning, The Bear set a record for most nominations ever for a comedy, 23. And among the shows it's up against for outstanding comedy is the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, with its 11th nod in that category. Curb showrunner Jeff Schaffer tells me it's kind of weird to be up against a show like The Bear.
I love The Bear. Bear's a great show. It's not a comedy, and I don't think they think it's a comedy. No one thinks it's a comedy. And there's a reason for that. It's not a comedy. It's a really good drama.
We'll see which show wins at the Emmys September 15th on ABC. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
So why, thank you, Jason, why is it nominated as a comedy again? Well, so apparently the networks and streamers can decide. So FX basically submitted it as a comedy because it wanted to. So why would it want to do that? Well, less competition, according to USA Today. The reason very simple. Comedy categories are traditionally less competitive than drama, meaning all the Emmys the series won at the last Emmys are partially due to the shrewd decision by network honchos to go for the comedy gold.
Is it funny?
Oh, it's a drama, but there's moments.
Well, what is a comedy? If I'm laughing,
Well, and that's one of the concerns, though. Yeah,
I guess.
That's one of the concerns.
You still think I need to watch this? I haven't watched it because I'm not interested in the subject area.
Your
right? The
apprehension
restaurant
is interesting to me.
It's probably ridiculous.
I refuse to watch a good show.
I'm not refusing to watch it. I just haven't.
Now give it a go. I think you'd like it.
6:39, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Loyal Family Renovations and Abbey Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Tell them we want your yard looking as good as mine. Vince Vitrano here for Great Lakes Landscape, sharing a 5-star review for a job well done. Great Lakes was just out at a friend's property in New Berlin. He's got one of these big old barns on the property. He asked Ryan and his team at Great Lakes Landscape to shore up the earth around the foundation. It looks beautiful now. In addition to stabilizing that, it had been kind of a muddy sort of sinking hole. Not what you want. It's now perfectly sodded. They made a nice stone walkway, stone spot for parking vehicles next to the barn as well. Quote, communication was incredible throughout the entire process. That's what my friend wrote in his review. Whether it's a big job like this or a full lawn maintenance package, still time to get on the schedule. Give yourself a break for the rest of the summer. Great Lakes does it all. Tell them you want your yard looking as good as mine. Yeah, my friends. Great Lakes Landscape. That's GreatLakesLandscapeWI.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Heard at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Let's get an update on that morning drive, Deb.
All right. Well, we've got this accident on westbound 94 right about at 25th Street off on the right shoulder. Just watch out for some delays heading through there. Right now, it's pretty light, though. We do have some delays heading into the security zones around the RNC. So watch out for some of the roads letting you in through those checkpoints. It might be a bit backed up. Westbound on 894 from 27th Street is going to be slow to about 58th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Really nice weather for today. We'll see mostly sunny skies, just a couple afternoon clouds. High temperatures mid to upper 70s. You'll also notice the humidity very low for today. Tonight, clear skies, cool temperatures, lower 60s near the lake, but 50s inland. Friday, we'll look for mostly sunny skies to continue at the high temperature near 80. Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a couple degrees warmer in the lower 80s. Then on Sunday, partly cloudy skies, a bit more humidity, high temperatures in the lower 80s with a slight chance for a shower. On Monday, more of the same, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the lower 80s with that isolated chance for a shower. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
A little bit different walk over to UWM Panther Arena this morning, 59 degrees.
It's time to honor an everyday hero. An everyday hero is when we here at Wisconsin's Morning News celebrate an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Today, Vince, we head to West Palm Beach, Florida. West Palm. Jemiah Adams. She's 23 years old. She works at night. And one afternoon, she was sleeping when she heard something outside, a woman screaming.
She just was screaming, and from that scream, I could tell it's something serious where she can't even get it out.
So the first thing I did, I jumped up and I ran out there.
Yeah, it was a neighbor of hers. He has a toddler. The 22-month-old boy had fallen into a nearby lagoon just kind of behind the complex of the apartment. Behind that complex, the child wasn't breathing. They got her out. So Adams says she went to work.
Every second really counted in that moment. I just started giving the baby CPR. While I was giving the baby CPR, I was literally just praying, because everyone around me was screaming.
So News 12 has the story. The boy survived. She saved this toddler's life. He is now recovering. So if that's not cool enough, here's what happens next. And this is amazing. Palm Beach State College decided, you know what, we got to honor this young woman. They wanted to honor her for her bravery and for her courage and her actions. They presented her for a scholarship for a full ride scholarship so she can continue to learn and pursue a career, likely in the medical field. Listen to what she says here.
I wasn't expecting this moment to happen. I wasn't expecting it, so I could not thank them enough. But I will thank them by showing them I'm going to chase my dreams.
That's right. Chase away, Jeremiah. Chase away, and thank you for saving a young boy's life, giving him a chance to dream. Thank you for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Your daily appointment for all things Brewers. From every angle, this is Brewers 360.
Look, this is not put the ball in the hands of Giannis at the end of the game. In baseball, it's got to be up and down the lineup.
Every day at 7:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This is the show right now, and the competition's pretty stiff.
Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Holiday Automotive.
I love where your head is right there, so we can definitely come up with some fun ideas for sure.
Oh, be careful, Matt. No, you just
you opened up,
you opened up Pandora's box here.
Erik.
Yes?
Did you hear about the neck decorating contest?
No, I have not heard about it.
Do you know who won?
Who?
No one. It was a tie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That's a
You get it?
joke.
Okay. Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's your dad joke of the day, brought to you by Gina Della from Pella. I bet she liked that one. That's a good one. I thought it was well delivered as well.
Very original. You got me, too.
Hey, listen, here's the deal right now from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They're offering payments as low as $18 per window per month. $81 if you need a new patio door per month. You can spread your payments out over time, make those payments affordable to you. You know Pella's going to complete the installation with no mess and no hassle, and the best of quality products here in the state of Wisconsin. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin offering $18 a month per window, $81 a month per patio door if you get the deal done by the end of this month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Monday, first training camp practice for your Green Bay Packers. Players begin reporting this weekend, including quarterback Jordan Love, who is still looking for a long-term deal that could put him among the highest-paid players in the league. ESPN's Adam Schefter.
I still think that there's a chance, a small chance, it gets done in the next week or two. My guess would be, based on current events, that the deal is not done by the time they report to camp.
Schefter on ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Gabe and Chewy. Love is expected to get north of $50 million per year.
Wow, okay.
And I'm already hearing some speculation that perhaps he could, now this hasn't come from him, but perhaps he holds out until that new deal is done.
Yeah, I mean...
That doesn't seem to be in his character. That said, if you're looking at something that can bring you $250,000 or $250 million or more, right?
Yeah, right. And he's a guy that is very hot right now. That was a good end of the year he had there. He had a good run there. And because of it, he wants to get paid.
Yeah, he's got all the cards.
Yep. With the All-Star game behind us in the Major League Baseball season, the next big story for MLB is the trade deadline. It's quickly approaching. Trade deadline this year. It's a little bit different this year. It's July 30th at 5 p.m. Central Time. So the Brewers, who knows, maybe they're looking at another starting pitcher, perhaps. They already traded for one, Aaron Civale from the Rays, but is there another one? Well, Adam McKelvey from MLB.com, he told Wisconsin's Morning News that there's not a lot of options because there's only so many pitchers to go around.
The teams that are sellers, that list is very, very short. So the teams that have pitching to sell, that are willing to deal, they have all the cards.
Yeah, speaking of cards, so that means if you want another pitcher, you're going to have to pay for it. We'll see what the Brewers do. And by the way, no baseball today, no baseball for the Crew tomorrow either. They don't return to work until Saturday against the Twins.
You know, another thing that affects that, and I think McCalvey made this point in talking with us some time ago, and maybe Matt Arnold did as well, general manager for the Brewers, you got 12 teams that make the playoffs now in Major League Baseball, which means a lot of teams are alive still at this point in the season. And you got to decide, like, who's ready to write off the season and have a fire sale and who's not.
It's a small list.
Yeah, with so many teams still in it. 6:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
It is the summer of excitement at Hall Volkswagen. Hey, everybody, Debbie Loziga here. And Hall has been filling me in on some of the redesign of the 2024 VW Atlas. This thing is gorgeous and super comfortable. You've got space for up to 7 passengers, but what about all the stuff? Well, all that gear you need for cookouts, camping, beach trips, tailgate, all the things. You're out with all your family and your friends. You got room for it. Hey, you want everybody to be safe too, right? Well, Volkswagen has the IQ Drive Safety Enhancing Technology, and it's standard in that VW Atlas. I'm telling you, this thing is awesome. And if you want to check it out for yourself, head over to Brookfield right on Blue Mound Road and stop at Hall Volkswagen. You can ask them all your questions. At Hall Volkswagen, it's all good.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Sick of being bullied by your bank with surprise fees, getting stuck on hold, and bankers who don't get you? Wintrust takes a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way and expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/no-bully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, looks like things are slowing down on eastbound 94 just a bit. Now, it's heading into an area where there's an accident off on the right shoulder. It is out of traffic, but just something to keep in mind. On the westbound side, a little bit tight right through the stadium interchange itself. And, of course, on 894 westbound, we've got some backups from about 35th Street all the way to about 68. That's that construction zone there. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. It doesn't get much better than this. High temperatures this afternoon at mid to upper 70s. Low humidity and plenty of sunshine today. Light breeze out of the northeast with just a couple afternoon clouds. Tonight, clear skies and cool temperatures. We're dropping to the 50s away from the lake. Lower 60s by the lake. Friday, mostly sunny skies. High temperatures near 80s. Saturday's looking good. Lower 80s with partly cloudy skies. On Sunday, only the small chance for an isolated rain shower in the afternoon. High temperatures in the lower 80s with partly cloudy skies. Monday, partly cloudy skies, and once again, that small chance for a shower with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
6:54 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Did we do traffic already, Greg? Okay. Vince Vitrano, Erik Bilstad with you here. We lost our signal for a moment, so just a little housekeeping there, if you don't mind. Traffic was sponsored by Two Men in a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. And the forecast brought to you by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 76 degrees today. Chilly start, though, just 59 as we get things going on the final day of the Republican National Convention. ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta in studio right now with us. Jen, we miss you. Sorry we can't see you in person.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing? How do you feel? Are we working on adrenaline right now? Is it all caffeine and adrenaline at this point?
You know what's so funny? Around the office, and if folks know, ESPN Milwaukee studios are right next to ours downtown. And when I've been coming back, Jen, late in the day, which is much longer than typically Erik or I are around, a lot of the folks over at the ESPN side have been like, "You still here? You all right?" Look, man, this is our Super Bowl, okay? This is like as if you or the sports team over there at ESPN was covering the Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl for news, and we're hitting that final stretch.
Yeah, it reminds me of when we get to the end of the college football season, and we've done, 18 weeks or whatever it is of content, and it is the national championship game, and it is all hands on deck, and you're not punching the clock, you just stay until, the work is done, and then, and I want to prepare you guys for this, you crash. You absolutely crash. So you guys should prepare to sleep and sleep and sleep and pass out on the couch watching golf or whatever it is you do over the weekend, because your body is going to be like, "Are we done? We're done. We're done? Okay."
Jen,
boom. Just hit the ground.
Jen, can I tell you something? Eric Big Plans Bilstad over here brought a mattress to the studio because he thinks he's making it till 9 o'clock tonight to see the president's speech.
I'm going to try to cover the speech tonight. And here's the best part. Here's the part, Jen. I pull in through the checkpoint here with my car to get into the soft zone. And the guy looks at me and he goes, "How's your night been?" And I'm like, "I just got up."
Whoa.
This is my morning, sir.
That's like when you meet someone, you go, "Whoa, are you okay?" And it's like, "Why do I look like I'm not okay?" I think that's exactly what that guy was telling you. Good job,
Quite
guys.
well. I'm full of energy.
You guys have done a fantastic job crushing the content, putting out really intriguing and interesting and funny and smart stuff. So bravo to you. I know it's been a hell of a week and even the days leading up to it, but you can rest assured that after this is over, you can take a nice, long nap.
Hey, Jen, let's cover a Super Bowl together in January or February here, whenever that is. Let's do it this year, this time around.
February, but yeah, you get there in January.
Yeah, okay. It'll be March by the time by the time the Packers get back. Who knows? They keep pushing that thing back. ESPN's Jen Latta in studio with us. Appreciate it, Jen. We'll see you again soon.
See you guys.
It is 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Top of the hour headlines just ahead.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Another new sports structure could be built in Deer District, with construction potentially starting as early as spring 2025. Milwaukee Area Technical College is exploring the lease of a new shared athletic training facility co-developed by the Milwaukee Bucks and another local developer. The Iron Horse Hotel says it's on the verge of emerging from bankruptcy after years of legal battles. The hotel has remained open and operating without interruption throughout the effort to sort out its financial affairs. Wisconsin's only Big Boy restaurant has closed its doors in Sussex, and the owner of a new restaurant next door plans to repurpose the space. The initial plan is to convert the space into a kids' fun zone, and it will eventually be repurposed as a lounge space for small events. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Michael Quizon is the IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank. Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 7:01. I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's morning news for Thursday, July 18th. Our top story, preparing for a major speech from the GOP nominee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still have an accident up on the board. Westbound 94 at about 25th Street, off on the right shoulder. Watch for that. Otherwise, you are starting to slow down a bit from 30th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. A little back up on northbound 43, coming out of the Marquette up towards Fond du Lac Avenue. And, of course, delays westbound on 894 from just before 35th Street all the way to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny, then some afternoon clouds today in your storm team forecast. A high around 76, down to 61, maybe upper 50s away from the lake tonight. Clear as well, mostly sunny, around 80 for your high on Friday. Right now it's 58 degrees in Milwaukee at 7:02. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we'll have more on a big speech from Donald Trump at the RNC in Milwaukee in just a moment. But first, I do want to offer a clarification and correction from our newsroom. My earlier reports this morning that no charges had been filed in connection to a deadly police shooting involving Columbus officers Tuesday in Milwaukee near 14th and Fleet. That was inaccurate. A determination on potential charges has not yet been made in that case. If any changes to that do come forth, we will, of course, let you know right here on WTMJ. Our top story this morning, Republicans are gathered in Milwaukee for their nominated convention, and they will hear tonight from their standard bearer as GOP nominee Donald Trump will give his first public comments since the attempt on his life last Saturday.
This is Jim Ryan at the RNC in Milwaukee. Donald Trump has spoken privately and in small groups about the assassination attempt, telling attendees Wednesday at the screening of a movie about his re-election bid.
I got lucky. God was with me.
In audio obtained by PBS News, Trump talked about the emotional impact of the shooting.
Horrible thing, amazing thing, and in many ways it changes your attitude, your viewpoint on life.
Trump has said the experience had him tearing up and rewriting the speech he'll deliver this evening. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Milwaukee.
Is Donald Trump a changed man in the wake of the assassination attempt? Many people visiting Milwaukee for the RNC say yes.
He looked humbled by what had happened to him, and I appreciated that.
Celeste Biagini has had the opportunity to see Donald Trump many times. She lives in Washington, D.C., so a Trump spotting isn't anything new, especially during his past time in office. But she says this week here in Milwaukee is different.
I like seeing, quite frankly, a little bit more subdued Donald Trump. I like that he's up for the fight and he's strong.
Senator Philip Wheeler of Kentucky is also noticing a change.
There was a gravitas that
something new and exciting, and I think the party feels very confident going into November.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Delegates at Fiserv Forum for the RNC also reacting to the news that President Biden is in isolation after testing positive for COVID-19. Donna Williams of North Carolina telling WTMJ.
I think it's another step of them pushing him out the door. That's what I think.
The White House says Biden is dealing with mild COVID symptoms. Meanwhile, a notable no-show at the RNC this week is Paul Ryan. A Wisconsin native has not appeared at the RNC, and former Governor Tommy Thompson tells Wisconsin Afternoon News he should be here.
Paul Ryan should be here. And maybe when he sees all the people that come out and said, we're going to get behind Donald Trump, we need to change the direction, I think Paul may see the light and come back into this party again and be a leader. He's a wonderful man, a great leader, and it's too bad he's not here.
Ryan has publicly said he will not vote for Donald Trump in 2024. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 7:05.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like $100 instant savings on 4 Michelin, BF Goodrich, or Uniroyal tires. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. 10% off assorted brake pads, shocks, and struts. Rewards members save 15%. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our Rewards Member Appreciation Event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season, but you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe? Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Travel deliciously to Milwaukee, Chicago, or around the world. This is Teresa with Milwaukee Food and City Tours. Listen this Saturday at noon to hear about our next adventure, or join a tour at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 7:07. Still no contract for quarterback Jordan Love. Could that change? We'll have more in sports coming up at 7:15. Crews are still on scene this morning of a large fire at a church converted into a learning center at 39th and Lisbon on Milwaukee's west side. TMJ4's Brendan Jones.
These hoses have been going for the better part of 2 hours since we've been here this morning. Crews have been active all morning fighting this fire. We see crews from Milwaukee and from Wauwatosa coming out. I spoke to the neighbor who lives right next door to this building, and she said she was woken up by the smoke early this morning.
The firemen were banging on my door. And when I came out the porch, they were kicking the door into the building next door to my house.
Fire officials have not yet commented on the cause of the fire. Milwaukee police firing shots at an individual near Sherman and Capitol overnight on the city's north side. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says a suspect wanted in a double shooting fired shots at officers from inside of a gas station.
Suspect ran out of the store and fired numerous shots at officers, at which time several officers returned fire, subsequently striking the suspect.
The 22-year-old male suspect arrested is expected to survive. The 3 officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. And a frightening scene in Paris where a car plowed into a cafe just weeks before that nation and its country hosts the Summer Olympics.
Paris police saying a car drove into the terrace of a cafe in northern Paris on Wednesday evening, leaving 1 dead and at least 6 others injured, including 3 in critical condition. The driver fled the scene but was later arrested. A motive was not immediately clear, though French media report the driver appears to have lost control of the car, adding there was 1 passenger in the car who tested positive for alcohol and drugs. France has been on heightened alert ahead of the upcoming Olympics. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, Paris.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 7:09.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Let's get an update on the morning drive here. Debbie Lazaga.
Alrighty, westbound on 94, backed up coming out of the Stadium Interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard. Pretty typical stuff, though, at this point. Northbound 43 is a little bit tight, north of North Avenue, heading up towards Center Street. And then we've got westbound 894 backing up a bit from 27th to about 68th. Now, this accident on westbound 94, still up on the board. It's off on the right shoulder. Hard to see at about 25th Street. There's a whole bunch of bushes right there. I think it might be behind that. But it's still up on the board, so something to keep in mind if you are heading past that. By the way, though, if you do drive past and you don't see that anymore or see something else, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. It doesn't get much better than this. High temperatures this afternoon at mid to upper 70s, low humidity and plenty of sunshine today. Light breeze out of the northeast with just a couple afternoon clouds. Tonight, clear skies and cool temperatures. We're dropping to the 50s away from the lake, lower 60s by the lake. Friday, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures near 80s. Saturday's looking good, lower 80s with partly cloudy skies. On Sunday, only the small chance for an isolated rain shower in the afternoon. High temperatures in the lower 80s with partly cloudy skies. Monday, partly cloudy skies, and once again, that small chance for a shower with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Temperature in Milwaukee, 61 degrees.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
At 7:12, 2 important updates this morning that will be talk of the convention this final day. President Biden has COVID, and sources suggest he is becoming more open to the possibility of stepping aside. That coming up first.
It's a tremendous hole in security.
ABC News crime and terror analyst, former FBI agent Brad Garrett. You've heard him on the morning show here from time to time. The more we learn about the assassination attempt on former President Trump, the worse it gets for the U.S. Secret Service. A blatant fail in their duty to protect the former president, this GOP nominee. ABC's Andrea Fujii on the timeline. According to lawmakers who've been briefed, the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was on law enforcement radar at the rally long before shots were ever fired.
At 5:10 p.m., Crooks is first identified as a person of interest, a full 62 minutes before the first shots. At 5:30, he's spotted with a rangefinder, which can be used to determine distances for target practice. At 6:02, Trump takes the stage. 6:12, Crooks fires those shots. A sniper then killed Crooks 26 seconds after he fired the first shot.
Calls here in Milwaukee and across the country for the director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, to resign. in Milwaukee, inside Fiserv Forum. Cheeto was here, chased down by a pair of U.S. senators.
This is exactly what you were doing today.
This
on the
was
call.
an assassination attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump answers.
Yeah, Eric, you've seen the video as well. They're walking after Director Cheeto through the concourse.
I'm not sure if probably a better place you can have those conversations.
Well, that was kind of Cheeto's point.
You don't need
it was
to chase her down like you're a resident. You're a congressperson.
Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming, Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. You heard them there. Cheeto was telling them at the moment, I'm focused on securing this convention. I also don't want this to be a distraction. She has been subpoenaed by the House Oversight Committee and has said she will testify at a hearing Monday on Capitol Hill. As for President Biden,
President Biden arriving in Delaware after testing positive for COVID. The White House describing his symptoms as mild.
It's ABC's Perry Russom, the president not wearing a mask when last seen, and left the campaign trail in Nevada to wait it out at home. Meanwhile,
after an effort to make Biden's nomination official by the end of July through a virtual roll call, the Democratic National Committee Rules Committee says no virtual voting will begin before August 1. The move possibly intended to buy more time to convince Biden to drop out of the race.
Yeah, CNN reporting this morning, sources telling them the president is now asking in private, in some of these conversations he's having, whether advisors think Vice President Harris can win, which is another indication, is being suggested that he's at least open to having that conversation of what that looks like if he were to step aside. President's doctor describing his symptoms as cold-like, no word on when he'll be able to get out on the campaign trail again, ahead of the Democratic National Convention, which comes up already next month in Chicago. 7:16 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Time for another new coat of paint on your house? Get Rhino Shield ceramic coating. You won't have to paint again for 25 years guaranteed. Right now, get $1,500 off with 12 months same as cash financing. Visit RhinoShieldWIS.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Just in to see the docs at Connect Chiropractic for my 1-year reassessment. So maybe you've seen a chiropractor before. Most folks, you go in a few times, right? Something's been hurting or pinching. I got to go see the chiropractor. You get that taken care of, you start to feel better, and then you never go back. That's not how they like to do things at Connect Chiropractic. I want to save all the progress that I've gained. My neck, my back, my shoulder feeling so much better. And so now we're a year out. We looked at the x-rays, the readout of the nerve and muscle activity, celebrated great progress, and then got with Dr. Alex and his team and formed a plan to keep things straightened out and feeling better in the year ahead. If you're dealing with chronic pain or some sort of other health issue that's keeping you down, isn't it at least worth a shot? No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Special tool these docs use to make gentle and effective adjustments. Find out more by booking your first appointment now, or read up more about it online. You do it all right there at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Hey, if you're in town for the RNC, enjoy a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. John Mercure here. It's my favorite place. Buy one dinner, your second dinner's free tonight. Now welcoming reservations for large RNC groups. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. Show off Wisconsin. Show them the Fox and Hounds.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Sneaking up on us, Green Bay Packers open training camp already next week. And still no long-term deal for the quarterback, Jordan Love. ESPN's Adam Schefter believes it's going to happen.
Well, the Packers veterans report to camp on Sunday. That is the day that they report, which means they're on field next week. And I think that the two sides continue to talk. And I think that eventually they're going to figure out a way to get this done.
Schefter on ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Love under contract currently through this season. That first training camp practice is on Monday morning.
No sports going on right now. Until Saturday, the All-Star break continues. Now the big storyline is going to be the trade deadline. So the deadline this year is July 30th at 5 p.m. Central Time. What will the Crew do? Well, they've already made that trade for Rays pitcher Aaron Civale. So anything's possible, but that could be their trade because there's only so many different pitchers you
I think the Brewers feel really good about adding that arm already, and I think they will continue to look for starting pitching. But it's got to be a long list because you don't know who's going to become available, and you know that it is going to come down to the wire. And you need to be prepared to make any number of deals at the last minute when the sellers finally are willing to sell.
Now, one name being thrown around is Rockies pitcher Cal Quantrill, who has kind of had an up and down season, a rocky season, if you will.
I will.
Could be a target. Well done. You. It could be a target for some teams, including the Brewers, but of course the prices could be high.
7:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News. A familiar voice returns, but for a segment on WTMJ. He's coming up next.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I talk a lot about politics, but sometimes I just want to sit back and have a nice conversation about, well, whatever I want to on the Scafidiology podcast. My old radio partner, Carol Kane.
Hi, buddy. I don't spit on your Italian stuff.
Don't you miss this? Let me ask you about current events, politics.
Oh.
Do you think about politics? Because, when we did our show, we parsed all this stuff out,
Here's
right?
the thing.
You can listen to this conversation or any of my Scafidiology conversations wherever you get your podcast or at WTMJ.com.
Well, I hate to say it, we are officially on the downward swing of the summer. Sorry. But you're not out of time to increase your relaxing living space. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. And with the rest of the time you have this summer, why not zhuzh up your space with a brand new retractable awning or screen? It's done wonders for my relaxing time outside, and it's super easy to work with the guys from Comfort Awnings. They service all of southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois, and they have a huge selection of colors and fabrics that will really make your home pop. And right now, until the end of July, you can get $400 off any awning or screen. Heck of a deal. Just call them at 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Loyal Family Renovations and Abbey Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Checking in with Debbie Lazaga.
Yeah, sure. Westbound on 894, backing up from 27th Street all the way to 68th through the construction zone on the bypass. That's just down a lane, really, and then everybody's kind of still getting used to it. On westbound on 94 at 25th Street, that's still up on my list of accidents, although I can't quite see it. There's a bush right in the way, so you can't really see it. It's out of traffic. I'm not seeing too many delays with that one. As a matter of fact, eastbound's looking just fine all the way in from Highway 16 into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine today, just a couple of clouds moving in this afternoon. Boy, for the middle of July, 76 degrees, your high temperature. Clear and cool tonight, windows open once again, low down to 68. Mostly sunny and 80 degrees, your high temp on Friday. Weekend looking pretty good, partly cloudy and a bit warmer on Saturday with a high of 83. And Sunday's high 81 degrees, humidity on the uptick a bit, and a slight chance of a shower. Right now it's 62 in Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's Morning News live from Media Row at UWM Panther Arena. So on Wednesday, Vince and I were at Pfizer Forum, middle of the afternoon, and President Trump was there. Showed up to do a walkthrough. So he was on the stage, looking around, at the podium, and
there was a lot of pointing.
Yes, yeah,
pointing and directing,
and a lot of people too. There's like a dozen people on stage with him, all just standing there. Anyway, he was doing that, and there's a lot of media. Obviously, as we get closer and closer to tonight, there's more and more media around. And among those in the concourse that we stumbled upon was former WTMJ host Charlie Sykes. And Zike's a very polarizing figure for a lot of people, but I had to get his take on a few things, so I picked his ear just to hear what he'd have to say about a couple of items.
Former WTMJ host and author, writer, blogger, podcaster, all that stuff. Charlie Sykes. Yeah. So which is a bigger game changer, Senator J.D. Vance or the shooting that happened on Saturday?
Well, that's an excellent question because they are both game changers, but in very, very different ways.
Right.
I mean, obviously the shooting has reset 2024 in immediate terms. It set the scene for this convention. I mean, this is a convention that is now kind of a celebration of, I mean, Donald Trump can now pose as both a hero and as a martyr. So, I mean, clearly he is benefiting from that. But that's going to be short term. Longer term, the pick of J.D. Vance shows you where the Republican Party is going. This is full MAGA. Trump could have chosen somebody from the more traditional wing of the party. He chose one of the most outspoken isolationists in the party, one of the most outspoken populists and nationalists in the party. Yeah. And so what that would indicate to a lot of traditional Republicans is that we're moving in a very, very different direction. This is a very wrenching change for them.
That idea of the extremists on both sides, that gap is growing every day, it seems like.
Well, and what's going to be, and it's changing the tone of the Republican Party. Right. I mean, you pick J.D. Vance because you want to go after union workers, you want to go after, blue-collar workers. Very, very different than, say, what the Republican Party looked like in 2012. Now, whether he'll be able to deliver that, I'm somewhat skeptical. I mean, I do think that we need to put it in context that, yes, the selection of Sarah Palin was a game changer, but it didn't change the game the way people thought it was going to change it. And VP candidates get a lot of buzz and attention, but very rarely actually make a difference.
In Chicago, 1 month from now, who gets nominated? Joe Biden or...
Well, you know what? Speaking of unexpected, this moment that we're in right now, the fact that you're even asking that question, that we really don't know for sure. I was just on a television hit where we were discussing all of that. Our political landscape could be very different a week from now than it is where we're talking now, because Adam Schiff from California just came out and said that Joe Biden should drop out. They apparently are going to be delaying that virtual convention vote. So there's a real possibility that it will not be Joe Biden. And that creates something that none of us can really predict at all.
Charlie Sykes, how you doing, by the way? Are you okay? Are you good? Do you have friends again on both sides of the aisle? Are you coming back around?
Oh, no, I have no friends on either side of the aisle.
Okay, that's where you would like to be.
Well, there's a perfect symmetry of Democrats saying, shut up about Joe Biden being old. And then people on the right saying, no, you need to shut up about, Donald Trump being a rapist felon, and all of that. So it feels comfortable and it feels familiar.
So it's
comfortable and familiar.
Charlie
so
Sykes.
Much hate.
Yes. Charlie Sykes.
Well, it was good to see him yesterday.
Yeah. He's looking good. He's doing well. He contributes to MSNBC, also writes for The Atlantic, among other places as well.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average continues to climb, up more than 240 points in trading on Wednesday to 41,198. The NASDAQ, different story, down 2 3/4%, off more than 500 points to 17,997. And the S&P 500 is at 5588. That was down nearly 80 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and all of us who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us once again today, Jeff Salasinski. He's Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we've talked a lot about how commercial insurance continues to get more complex as the world around us becomes more tumultuous. And on top of that, you have many agents and brokers who've sold their businesses, which just kind of adds to the uncertainty in the marketplace. What's your take on all that?
Vince, we cannot control a lot of what's happening in the world around us, but we can control what's happening at R&R Insurance. The R&R Insurance ownership model is incredibly unique today, and we believe it's better able to deliver client value. Being a local, family-owned, independent insurance agency with 200-plus associates, we have the freedom to invest in people and resources that positively impact our clients. Ensure that decision-making remains local, and we bring consistency to an important relationship. We are not for sale. R&R Insurance will be here today, tomorrow, and well into the future.
Well, that really speaks to me, and I'm born and raised here, Jeff, and Good Karma, our headquarters is right here in Milwaukee, so I definitely see the benefits firsthand of being rooted in our local community and the fact that our ownership is here in Milwaukee.
Yes, very similar, Vince. You know, R&R is grounded in Midwest values. Our impact extends just beyond business transactions because we invest in the very communities where we live and work. We've been around for nearly 50 years, so our focus is long-term, and our clients reap the benefits. We don't wake up in the morning concerned about the price of our stock because we have shareholders we're accountable to. We don't have to answer to a private equity owner. We wake up in the morning focused on our clients and how we create value for them, and that's a significant difference.
That is Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Just before 7:30, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Thursday, July 18th. Our top story, preps for a major speech at Fiserv Forum.
I'm Debbie Lozigo. Westbound 94 slow at 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894 also heavy from 27th to about 68th through that construction zone. Rest of the system looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lozigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny, comfortable, then some afternoon clouds today. A high around 76. Clear and cool tonight, down to 61, 80 and sunny on Friday. Right now in Milwaukee, clear skies and 60 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. According to 3 law enforcement sources briefed on the investigation into the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, a social media post has been found attributed to shooter Thomas Crooks. He is believed to have written on the gaming platform Stream, "July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds." New calls on the head of the Secret Service to resign in light of the lapses of security in Pennsylvania. J.D. Vance delivering his vice presidential nomination speech last night during the convention. Donald Trump will deliver his this evening. As for President Biden, he's got COVID.
This could not have come at a worse time for President Biden. He's been on the campaign trail trying to prove he has the stamina to stay in this race. But now all of that is on hold as calls for him to drop out grow louder.
ABC's Selena Wang at the White House. Those balloons filled with trash and manure once again being floated between North and South Korea. It appears to be retaliation. The balloons began flying after South Korea dropped leaflets. This is ABC News.
Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:31. President Donald Trump, former president, now GOP nominee, will be speaking tonight at the RNC right here in downtown Milwaukee. And the praise for Milwaukee's handling of the convention has reached the top of the GOP food chain. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News he received a phone call from none other than former President Donald Trump.
He said that he's been really, really impressed about the security that's all gone into this over the past number of months, a year and a half or so leading up to this, and wanted to express that to me and for me to spread that to my team and the Milwaukee Police Department, the Secret Service.
Johnson says it was a pleasant conversation. He wished the former president well in his recovery from the assassination attempt last weekend. The RNC bringing in roughly 50,000 people to the state of Wisconsin, one of whom is more familiar with Fiserv Forum than most. The last time 6'10" former NBA center Enes Kanter was inside Fiserv, he was guarding Giannis.
Today, Kanter is celebrating his freedom in America.
Obviously, this is not my area. I'm an athlete. So I'm just here to, just hang out with people and just get to know them and all that stuff.
Raised in Turkey, Kanter's criticism of the Turkish government has led to his passport being revoked and his father imprisoned.
American, people stand with freedom and democracy. So that's why, especially after I changed my last name, it was a big hit. And I see all the, American people are now supporting me.
In 2021, the 11-year NBA veteran became an American citizen, legally changing his name to Enes Kanter Freedom. In Deer District, Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
One of the other stories we've been following throughout the RNC has been a business or lack thereof for some downtown establishments. One Milwaukee business is turning heads, though, at Convention Fest.
Madan Raj is the owner of Bobbletopia, a Milwaukee-based bobblehead business. He tells WTMJ.
Not surprisingly, our Trump bobbleheads are selling pretty well. People walk by and invariably I see them smiling or laughing.
Raj says that while they've curated their lineup for the RNC crowd, they make bobbleheads across the political spectrum.
We do sell Joe Biden bobbleheads. We sell Kamala Harris bobbleheads. And we saw bobbleheads of past presidents like JFK.
At Convention Fest, Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Other stories we're following this morning: crews still on scene of that large fire on Milwaukee's west side at an old church near 39th and Lisbon. TMJ4's Brendan Jones.
These hoses have been going for the better part of 2 hours since we've been here this morning. Crews have been active all morning fighting this fire. We see crews from Milwaukee and from Wauwatosa coming out. I spoke to the neighbor who lives right next door to this building, and she said she was woken up by the smoke early this morning.
The firemen were banging on my door. When I came out the porch, they were kicking the door into the building next door to my house.
Fire officials still no word on that cause of the blaze. And Milwaukee police firing shots at an individual near Sherman and Capitol on the city's north side late yesterday around 10:30 p.m. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman saying a suspect wanted in a double shooting from earlier this month fired shots at officers from inside that gas station. The 22-year-old male suspect was arrested and is expected to survive. The 3 officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 7:35.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
Coming up, the floating garbage returns.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep Dodge Ram.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin, any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Packers open training camp next week, and the Brewers don't begin play again until Saturday. We'll get into that in sports coming up at 7:45.
Remember the floating trash?
Yeah, quite well.
The balloons
in the Korean Peninsula?
Yeah, North Korea was sending down to South Korea. Well, they're back.
South Korea saying North Korea has launched balloons likely carrying trash towards South Korea, with South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff saying the balloons were flying north of Seoul, about an hour's drive from the border. North Korea first started sending the trash balloons last month and was expected to resume its tactics. Pyongyang recently vowed to respond after South Korea sent leaflets over the border. And as Delicatera, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Yeah, so it's basically large balloons carrying, they say, waste paper and waste, so toilet paper, you would assume, and some other things. South Korea telling everyone, hey, don't touch this stuff. Don't touch the garbage. I don't know, like, who's responsible for collecting it and sending those balloons to begin with?
Your various Department of Public Works. Oh, you mean filling them up on the north side?
Yeah,
right?
Yes, on the north side. Who's doing that work?
Listen, we're going to need you to, it's got to be a military-type operation. Here's what your division is doing today. We're going to need you guys to take
And then fill
whatever
it
you can find there.
All right, float it on over. And the whole point of it is because they're upset with some of the leaflets that South Korea has been sending to the North to try to get to the North's people to say, hey, look, here's what's really happening. Here's what you're being told. Propaganda stuff. So,
which would you rather receive?
That's a great question.
It's like when you're walking down the street and somebody hands you something, some sort of cause or whatever. Most of them will take a no thank you, but sometimes they're like, all right, fine,
they force
fine, I'll grab this. I might even look at it.
Right, just stop talking to me.
Don't send me balloons of crap.
Don't float that over to my yard.
This news report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
It's Black Friday in July at Steinhoffels. Get amazing deals on closeouts and bonus buys like buy one, get one free swivel stools. Create your outdoor oasis and save up to $1,300 on select patio collections. And make your new room even more affordable when you use Steinhoffels' 18-month financing. Steinhoffels has something for everyone. It's Black Friday in July at Steinhoffels. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
No rest for Wisconsin coming up already next week. EAA starts Monday.
Awesome. Here we go.
Almost time, the world's greatest aviation celebration.
They're probably already heading up that way.
For sure. Air traffic and things happening, picking up. EAA AirVenture Oshkosh, July 22nd through the 28th. Daily air shows, thrilling aerobatics, of course. 2 air shows at night. So twice during the run of EAA AirVenture, you'll have nighttime air shows. They got drones that are involved in that. Lots more to see. Unique aircraft on display all through the week, and hands-on activities for the kids and so much more for the family. You can join EAA for this week of unforgettable moments. Immerse yourself in the world of flight. Don't wait. Tickets are available now. Visit EAA.org/tickets. You can also there plan your visit, find out what it is that you want to see. For more information or to purchase those tickets today, EAA.org/tickets.
Have you heard the buzz? I'm not talking about the latest tabloid gossip. I'm referring to the buzz from the wires that feed your home's electrical power. That's the most important buzz of all. But when you don't hear the buzz, you're left powerless. Talk about a buzzkill. But I have some good buzz to share. Mr. Howland's Home Services can install a brand new, whole house backup generator directly into your electrical system. So if Mother Nature goes on a rampage, or if the grid has gridlock, you could still keep the lights lit, the fridge is fridging, Wi-Fiing, and your busy day buzzing. All because you listen to the good buzz about Mr. Howland's whole house generators. Don't wait until the buzz dies down. Keep the lights on and give Mr. Howland's Home Services a buzz today. Call 866-992-1717 or buzz on over to MrHowlandsHomeservices.com. If you want to stay buzzed, we can help.
What's happening on the roads here, Debbie?
Well, we got some delays westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette interchange pretty much all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 is backing up just a bit from North and North Avenue up towards Keefe. 41 still looking pretty clear all the way down from Appleton Avenue. No major delays there. 894 westbound is still heavy from 27th to 68th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine as a high pressure rolls up above us for today. We'll see high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Low humidity with just a couple afternoon clouds mixing in. Tonight, clear skies as temperatures drop back down into the lower 60s near the lake, 50s inland. Friday, we'll look for more sunshine throughout the day. High temperatures near 80. Saturday, a couple degrees warmer, reaching back into the lower 80s with partly cloudy skies. On Sunday, we'll see partly cloudy skies, a slight uptick in humidity, small chance for an afternoon shower with high temperatures in the lower 80s. On Monday, we'll keep the same theme going, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the lower 80s with a slight chance for a shower. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 61 degrees. Live from the Republican National Convention, downtown Milwaukee. One final day of the convention. Just a word for folks who might like to return to downtown Milwaukee, whether to work or to do anything. This security apparatus expected to remain in place at least into tomorrow morning. The convention officially closes tonight. The gavel down party is tonight, but folks are still around, and it's a hefty installation, both the vehicle checkpoints, all the metal detectors, and the other various pedestrian checkpoints. So Eric and I have been talking to folks that we've gotten to know here over the last several days.
Yeah, our security personnel from all over the country.
Asked the guy at the vehicle check-in this morning, I'm like, so when is this, like, when are you breaking down? Yeah. He goes, I would expect it tomorrow morning at least still, because you don't just open the floodgates then when they say, all right, that's that.
Come on in.
The guy made the point, Secret Service made the point, like, there are still people here.
Right.
The people that we're protecting and the whole reason this apparatus is set up, there's still people here, so it's not like they just evaporate. So I would expect that through the morning, you'll see them breaking down as the day continues, but it'll still be a little bit congested in and around Milwaukee.
There'll still be those huge barriers in place, too, blocking some of the city streets, just because it takes a moment to get those. I mean, you got bobcats and different tractors that are going to have to move that stuff out of here, so that'll probably, into the weekend, you might notice some of that still sitting around. But
start getting the city back tomorrow morning.
Yeah. And by the way, you can still come down.
Absolutely. You had somebody meet you down here?
I had friends meet me down after the convention on Wednesday. It was great. And they were happy they did. They just wanted to see the spectacle of all these people.
Still a lot going on. I'm hearing anecdotally that things outside of the security perimeter picked up a little bit yesterday and into last night. A few more people around.
Yeah.
So
I was at the Harp and
not picked up, huh?
They had a band playing, and unfortunately, not a lot of people enjoying that.
It was you and the band. There were more members of the band than there were.
And it was a good band, too.
7:45, sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Wisconsin's #1 Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. It's where to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Well-qualified buyers lock in rates as low as 0% now on all-wheel drive Mazda favorites, like the invigorating Mazda CX-5, the rugged and refined Mazda CX-50, the 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Which Mazda's right for you? Treat yourself to a test drive and find out at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Green Bay Packers open training camp already. Well, you get the whole when do people report, rookies and free agents report a day or two ahead of the
rookie
veterans
orientation
usually.
and all that.
Veteran Report Day is Sunday, first Green Bay Packers training camp, which is open to the public. That will be Monday morning. You also have the Dream Ride, the bicycles, and all that stuff, which has now become contrived and sponsored and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Back in my day, when I was working at training camp, it was literally neighborhood kids and their bikes.
It was organic.
Yes. But that all kicks off next week.
To baseball, kind of a slow period in sports altogether, right? What we have right now. No games today. Most MLB teams return tomorrow, except for 2. Brewers and Twins. They don't start until Saturday. So the next big storyline that you're going to hear about in MLB is the trade deadline, of course, which is quickly approaching. So the deadline this year, it's always usually like July 31st, right, or August 1, like right there at midnight or 9 p.m. or something like that. Well, the deadline this year is July 30th at 5 p.m. Central. And the Brewers have some possibilities of trying to go after another pitcher, perhaps. They already did trade for Aaron Savale from the Rays, and that's been a good trade for them. So what do you do now, and how easy is it to find a trade partner?
The teams that are sellers, that list is very, very short. So the teams that have pitching to sell that are willing to deal, they have all the cards.
Yes, that means you're going to have to pay for it. That's Adam McAlvey from MLB.com for the Brewers he reports for. And, yeah, if you're going to want to get a pitcher, even a so-so pitcher, you're going to have to pay for it because the number of buyers versus the number of sellers is very dramatic.
Don't do it. There's nobody out there. I mean, if you can get CC Sabathia, okay.
Well,
right?
Cal
And
Quantrill doesn't work for you?
It's not tripping my trigger. If you're going to blow up some young guy or mess around with somebody who's actually playing right now, and we've seen the movie before of where you mess around with the clubhouse juju, like things are going well in there. Guys like each other. They're playing with passion. They're playing for one another.
I don't know if you've noticed, though, they have had a hard time keeping starters.
Well, we've started 47 different pitchers this year.
Although you can argue, though, that a lot of them are now starting to come back. So
right,
now
so you got
that could be your trade. Maybe just them coming back off the IR.
Brewers 360 sponsored this morning by Holiday Automotive.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And now is the time for a bad dad joke.
What did the window say when it was arrested? I was framed.
Dad jokes aside, my mind is on windows because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has a fantastic deal going on right now. Pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Pella completes the installation with no mess, no hassle, and no bad dad jokes. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on July 31st. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
For all the things you need a Runnings bucket for, here's one more. The annual bucket sale gives you 15% off everything you can fit inside, even sale-priced items. Remember, the bucket is free with a $5 purchase. The bucket sale is happening at all Running stores Friday and Saturday, July 19th and 20th. Shop in-store and fill your bucket with items including clothing, pet supplies, sporting goods, lawn and garden, tools, and more. Some exclusions apply. The bucket sale at Runnings, now with 80 locations. Go to Runnings.com to find the store in your community.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct Summer Sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, Debbie Lazica, 7:50, and the roads are
starting to slow down a bit more now that we've got a lot more cars out there. We got some delays on westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Couple pockets of heavy traffic crossing into Waukesha County as well. Northbound 43 slowing down from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 894 still heavy, 27th Street all the way to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Sunny today, a high of 76. Get to see a couple of clouds roll in later on today. Tonight, clear and cool, a low of 61. For your Friday, a high of 80. Saturday, 83. Sunday, the humidity ups a bit, and there's a slight chance for rain Sunday, a high of 81. 82 on Monday. Right now in Milwaukee, 63 at 7:51.
Idea Man.
I think you guys should be pushing. Get out to Vegas. Do a road show. Morning road show out in Las Vegas.
Innovative.
It has a good chance of beating the Eclipse.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
No, here's what you do. No, you get all the way, but you stop in Reno, because then you're 97% of the way. All right. Enough.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, I want to get to Jordan Love in a minute, but just to set the scene for you here, stretch run for Erik and me in our live broadcast from the Republican National Convention, and Erik has the look about him of, like, you know when you get towards the end of the day with your phone and the battery's kind of going down, you're like, I may actually have to plug this in before end of business today. That's what I see in Erik today.
So, Vinny, I think and you know what, when you have an event like that, this is kind of the Super Bowl of politics, right? As you get through and you're kind of grinding and you kind of get that glaze about you, man, is it almost over, but I got to finish strong. You head into the green room and get that illegal coffee. That's what you got to go do.
Oh, we found it. We found a source on site, Tausch. I don't know where it's being procured, but we've been taken care of.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so Vince finds out where the free coffee is, and you basically have to pretend you're with some type of network. So he brought me into a place.
Network.
Oh, we're with the network. We got some free coffee that way.
Look like you know what you're doing, Tausch.
Yeah, that's always the key, because the free stuff always tastes better. But I can kind of totally empathize with where you guys are at, because you're 4 hours, you're grinding away. And then the beauty of it is, just talking to Pancake, then you think, all right, this has probably got that Friday vibe to you, but you're still working the actual Friday because today's Thursday, and it just makes you think all the way around, man. This is where you got to really push, Eric. This is that final stretch.
The worst part was when I pulled through the checkpoint today, the security checkpoint, the guy says to me, "How's your night been?" And I'm like, dude, I just got up.
I'm on the front end, brother. Hey, man. It's good. I want to get your take on Jordan Love, as he does not have a new contract extension. He's signed through the end of this season, but camp opens on Monday. I've heard talk and suggestion even that he'd be crazy to set foot on that practice field on Monday without a new deal in place. You got thoughts on that?
Yeah, so we've discussed this ad nauseum the last couple of days, and I think Jordan Love was down. He had the camp down in Milwaukee. A bunch of kids showed up, and then the press was asking, and everybody is interpreting everything else. But he's already there. I mean, he's up. The rookies and quarterbacks have reported up into Green Bay. So it's going to be really interesting. You hear agents, and Adam Schefter was on Jen Gabe and Chewy kind of discussing that they're a little bit further apart and that the new deal is probably not going to be done by Monday. But I think where Jordan's at in his career, and the fact that he's played really 1 year as a starter, I don't envision him not being out there in practice. I think Monday is going to be really fascinating, because there are going to be a lot of people that think, don't you dare take a snap until you end up getting that new contract. I still believe there's a lot of posturing, a lot of jockeying by both sides to get what they want so that the contract gets done more to their liking than to the other side. I still think it's going to get done because it makes too much sense not to by Monday. But if it doesn't, the real interesting thing is, will he play in any preseason games? Because practice, you put the red jersey on, you're not going to get hit. The idea of getting injured is going to be a lot less limited than it would be in a game. But this is something that I think all Packer fans are incredibly interested in, because the quarterback makes such a difference. But I still think all this other stuff that is being said the next 3 or 4 days, you know how that goes. When you have a deadline, everybody wants to kind of leak out what they're thinking so that the other side will think, well, maybe he won't practice, maybe he won't play, and that maybe you'll get that offer bumped up a little bit more to make it more palatable so that the deal can actually get done.
Well, what are we talking about, Tosh? Are we talking about anything significant, or are we talking about like $500,000?
Well, is $500,000 not significant? I got to get into this morning news business.
Not to the likes of us, it's not. I mean, to some people it might be.
That's actually a really great question, Eric, and I think it has to be the guaranteed money portion of this, because the market tells you what it is. And Trevor Lawrence got paid. Tua is going to get paid. That I think everybody has you're in the general vicinity on that, right? Then it comes back to, well, the Packers like structuring contracts a certain way. A lot of other quarterbacks have gotten a lot more guaranteed money than what I'm sure the Packers are going to want to give Jordan Love. So do I think that average per year is going to be around where Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence is at, which is about $55 million? That's probably where I would think that's about where they're probably settling in. Then it just comes back to, well, how much guaranteed money are we going to give? Is it going to be more along the lines of Joe Burrow, which his contract is almost all guaranteed? Or is it going to be more about Trevor Lawrence's, where 2 or 3 years are? That's my guess, what the big sticking point is going to be, and who ends up winning that battle. That's where I think the Packers will end up getting the better of it when this deal finally does get done.
Hey, Tausch, Big Plans Bilstad brought a blow-up mattress to the studio. He thinks he's making it to 9 o'clock tonight in the president's speech.
I was going to cover this piece tonight.
You won't make lunch.
Well, let me tell you something. If he's already getting confused for coming in late, for staying late with the security, and with you saying that he's a little glass-eyed and it's, 7:57? You know what? At training camp, we used to get these little sleep pods so nobody had to leave. Maybe Bilstad gets that nice blow-up air mattress, finds one of those beautiful dark corners, and just goes and takes a 5-hour power nap and can do it. But I would bet that that ain't going to happen.
Talk to you tomorrow, Tausch. We'll report back. 7:58.
All right. Yeah.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Wisconsin's only Big Boy restaurant has closed its doors in Sussex, and the owner of a new restaurant next door plans to repurpose the space. The initial plan is to convert it into a kids' fun zone, and it will eventually be repurposed as a lounge space for small events. Another new sports structure could be built in Deer District, with construction potentially starting as early as spring 2025. Milwaukee Area Technical College is exploring the lease of a new shared athletic training facility co-developed by the Milwaukee Bucks and another local developer. The Iron Horse Hotel says it's on the verge of emerging from bankruptcy after years of legal battles. The hotel has remained open and operating without interruption throughout the effort to sort out its financial affairs. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Big savings are here, thanks to Senator Dan Fine. He helped cut property taxes by $11 billion, making home ownership more affordable. That's not all. His efforts slashed income and franchise taxes by nearly $17 billion. Call 608-266-5300 and thank Senator Fine for keeping your money where it belongs, in your wallet. Remember, when your money's on the line, you can count on Senator Dan Fine. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy with free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at brewers.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at AdventNose.com.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 8:01. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's morning news for Thursday, July 18th. Our top story, Milwaukee's greatness on display as the RNC begins its final day.
I'm Debbie Laziga, westbound on 94, slowing down from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, then back on the brakes from Highway 100 all the way into Waukesha County. Northbound 43 slowing out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe, and westbound 894 a heavy ride from 27th Street to 68th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Sun this morning, some afternoon clouds, highs in the mid-70s in your storm team forecast. Upper 50s to around 60 for the overnight low tonight. Clear and sunny tomorrow with highs around 77. Around 78. Right now 60 in Milwaukee at 8:02. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, today is day 4, the final day of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. At his daily presser this morning, Mayor Cavalier Johnson says through the first 3 days of the RNC, the city has shown its ability to handle major events.
It's been a pretty remarkable week, and I think it's fair to say that Milwaukee has shown our visitors that the city is full of great assets and also great people.
The theme of day 4 of the convention is Make America Great Once Again. GOP nominee Donald Trump will officially accept his party's nomination later this evening at Fiserv Forum. Meanwhile, President Biden has tested positive for COVID-19, cutting short a planned trip to Nevada.
President Biden is isolating at his home in Rehoboth, Delaware, after testing positive for COVID Wednesday. The White House said late last night his symptoms continued to be mild: runny nose, cough, and general malaise. nominees. The president gave a thumbs up after arriving back in Delaware when asked by reporters how he was feeling. But he walked slowly from Air Force One to his waiting SUV and appeared to need assistance getting into the vehicle. Inside the SUV, he seemed to take a long, deep breath before putting on his mask. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Back in Milwaukee, J.D. Vance officially accepting the party's nomination for vice president last night at Fiserv Forum. Delegates in Milwaukee explaining why Vance is their man.
J.D. Vance wasn't everyone's VP pick, but now that he's Trump's, the GOP is backing him.
Donald Trump knows who he wants, and that's what he does. And whatever Donald Trump goes with, I back Donald Trump up 100%.
Vernon Ford is visiting Milwaukee from Hawaii. He kept tabs on Vance early on. Others are just learning about him, like Angela O'Neill of Alabama.
This is a 12-year VP pick. You're picking someone as future president. Go around next time.
And Daniel Ferraci, in town from Texas, confronts the clone chatter.
Don't think he is a clone of Trump. There are no clones of Trump, let's be honest.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office says no charges will be filed following an altercation between Wisconsin Congressman Derek Van Orden and a pro-Palestine protester earlier this week. The congressman telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News he was on his way to lunch when it happened.
In no way, shape, or form am I trying to equate what happened yesterday with what happened to President Trump. President Trump literally was shot in the head, and I've been hit harder by wind blowing out of a blow dryer than from that person. So I'm not trying to compare that. What I'm trying to do is get a message across to the American public that we have exactly the same rights as Code Pink.
Van Orden says he's strongly in favor of free speech for the woman who hit him, but says it cannot cross the line into political violence. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:05.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the festival season, the festivals at BBC Lighting are bigger than ever. Our huge showroom is filled with all the latest lights and ceiling fans, including the newest LED styles, crystal chandeliers, table and floor lamps, mirrors, and outdoor lights. And don't forget about our lampshade and repair departments. BBC is a festival of lighting, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 8:06. As the convention in Milwaukee enters its 4th and final day, so far it has been a no-show from a man who used to be the highest-profile Wisconsin congressman. Former Speaker of the House Paul Ryan is not in town for the RNC, and TMJ4 chief political reporter Charles Benson telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News that's pretty unusual.
In conventions, there's a lot about building unity, bringing everybody together. I mean, think about it. Sort of team rivals last night, right? I mean, with Nikki Haley and, as you mentioned, DeSantis, even his rivals from 2016.
Ryan has publicly said he will not vote for Donald Trump in the 2024 election. A Southeast Wisconsin Boy Scout troop could be seen presenting the colors on Day 3 of the RNC. Racine's Troop 222 doing the honors. Senior Patrol Leader Sean Barsh telling WTMJ what taking the stage at Fiserv Forum was like.
It was mind-blowing to see that many people in the same place all doing the same thing. I remember walking across that stage and realizing everybody's in this together.
Troop 222 has been active since 1966. And while some Milwaukee businesses have not seen the economic influx they were expecting from the RNC, one Milwaukee business is helping to cool down delegates at the convention.
Tim Saul of Ripon is the owner of Sweet and Salty Ice Cream Truck, but he tells WTMJ there is such a thing as too hot for ice cream.
When it's above 90 degrees,
Ice cream's really not, people don't want to eat as much ice cream, so yesterday and today have been great.
Saul says they don't make the trip down from Ripon very often, but the heat has only helped their convention experience.
The interaction, promoting our business and putting smiles on people's faces at the same time.
At Convention Fest, Wyatt Barmarpooley, WTMJ News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:08.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents. And the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't let your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
How do you know it's time to get your parking lot redone? Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving, who can answer that question for you in person. Get them on your property. You get a no-obligation quote on your commercial or residential project. But here are a few starters. Faded asphalt color, crumbling edges, standing water, sinking pavement. Some of those should probably go without saying. Widening cracks, warping or buckling. The point is, if you see signs of damage and fatigue, it's probably even more serious than you think. And it's time to get the experts out to give it a look and fix it. It's not going to get better on its own, but it will get worse. You can trust this local family-owned company to give you an honest assessment, and of course they do great work. No obligation. You give them a call, tell them Vinny sent you. They love to hear that and get your questions answered. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Loyal Family Renovations and Abbey Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
How about an update on the roads here? Debbie Lazica.
All right, Vince, we got westbound on 94 slowing down just as you're getting out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, then back on the brakes through Highway 100 all the way to about Elm Grove Road. So careful with that. We've got northbound 43 slowing out of the Marquette up towards Keefe. After you get past that, you should be okay heading into Ozaukee County. Southbound side's been pretty clear. Westbound 894, very heavy from 27th Street all the way to about 68th. Rest of the system looking pretty good. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Beautiful day today. Bit on the cool side for July. High of just 76 degrees. A couple of clouds moving in this afternoon, but otherwise perfect. Clear and cool tonight. Low temperature down to 61. See how we're doing in Milwaukee right now. Our temperature up to 64 degrees.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
At 8:12, live from UWM Panther Arena, Erik Bilstad, Vince Vitrano here on Wisconsin's Morning News. One final day of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, an event we talked about in the years build up to it, years before even the DNC as well. Started talking about that in about 2018, 2019. And so here it is. It comes down to tonight. We've had the primaries, we've had the caucuses, every U.S. state and territory. Tonight, the nominee, former President of the United States, Donald Trump, will take the stage and accept the nomination for president in this 2024 election. Erik and I had an opportunity to be inside Fiserv Forum to see the former president in his walkthrough on stage. We'll take you inside for that moment in just a bit. But first, Can you tell what they're chanting?
JD's mom?
JD's mom. And they meant it nice, right? Fiserv Forum crowd chanting JD's mom, a name the pick first revealed here on Monday. Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, accepting the nomination for vice president in his primetime speech Wednesday from Milwaukee. Born in small-town Ohio, grew up poor. His backstory, a big reason for the choice. His mother was there in the audience.
Our movement is about single moms like mine who struggled with money and addiction but never gave up. And I'm proud to say that tonight my mom is here, 10 years clean and sober. I love you, Mom.
You know, I was on the convention floor Monday, Eric, when word was first filtering through the various delegations. I was among our Wisconsin delegation that Senator Vance was the pick. Remember the short list, other names on it. Right?
That was a roll call nomination.
Yes,
Monday.
that was happening, and you saw everybody hitting their phones. Yep, it's in. It's Vance, it's Vance, right?
Yep,
They're telling each other. And honestly, the reaction was a bit tepid.
Yeah, you're right. There's a little bit of meh in there.
Yeah, and now what you're not going to get is anyone in that delegation or on the floor to say, like, not a good pick. Like, you wouldn't get that because folks right away started falling in line, right, and saying, oh, good pick. But you could definitely tell it was a little bit of an eyebrow raise. And right now, what we're hearing from more and more delegates is that they're warming up to it. So this woman is from Alabama. She talked with WTMJ's Jessica Ty.
This is a 12-year VP pick. You're picking someone as future president. Go around next time.
You know, he's 39 years old. His age, one of the selling points, one of the positives they say about Senator Vance, despite his lack of experience. And right?
But like an NFL football coach.
Right. Once you're in the circuit, right? Yeah.
These younger guys that once you get them in, they're great.
So they're looking at it as, is this the guy who's coming on stage Thursday night in 2028 instead of Wednesday? And could there be more in his future? You can talk about 2028 in a while, okay? Just mention that just for a moment. As for the moment tonight, Erik and I were inside the hall as former President Trump was getting the feel for the stage. Let me bring you inside that moment.
For some reason or another, they've turned out the lights now, and there's a whole bunch of people talking, and we can see him. He's right out there on stage. What possibly could they be saying to him right now?
Schematics. Right. Trying to figure out exactly where you would walk and who you're going to wave to and which.
He's 10 feet from the podium. It's right there. Like, that's the podium, sir, and there is the hall.
It's just a lot of pointing.
Well, and a lot of people, too.
Too many.
Like more than a dozen people standing on that stage, and only like 2 of them were doing anything.
Right. And we're not talking security detail. Obviously, there was that. I mean, these were the handlers.
Yeah, handlers, staffers.
You probably didn't need to be here. You didn't need to be here. He's not even looking at you. Right. There's just a lot of that.
Watch this. They've been doing this for a while. He's been actually doing hand gestures, familiar gestures the president makes when he's speaking publicly. He's doing those right now. I don't know if they were rehearsing it or...
So you think maybe he was practicing the hand gestures, making sure they're under the light correctly, the spotlights?
There was some method to it. There was some reason for that. I can't tell you what that was. I mean, now that it is standard, you want to, if you're a public speaker of any kind, you want to see out over the floor, want to see where are the teleprompters. There's a big one right in front of the speaker. There are giant screens on either side. Actually, if you've watched the coverage, because the networks all have different angles and such, you can see them. You can see the words scrolling in that. He'll also have a couple of teleprompters, the more familiar ones that are on either side, like what you see in a State of the Union address, for example, or some of these larger speeches as well. So some of that is just getting the lay of this. This is a huge speech for the former president and a big moment, and so you want to make sure that you're comfortable and familiar. Also, it's the optics, because clowns like us are in there to get those pictures, to get those photo opportunities. So some of it was played up that reason.
My favorite is you talking really loud, like around all these other people that are trying to work. There's like photographers and all these reporters, and you're like, why aren't they turning the lights on? Why aren't they turning the lights on? Come on, like barking around.
You suggesting I have a loud voice? Or I guess some of that could be kept as inner dialogue.
I will ask this, though. So he had the bandage on his ear, on his right ear, on Wednesday. Does he wear a bandage tonight?
I think absolutely. If for no other reason than the optics. We don't really know what the healing process has been,
or what the injury
really heard
even
much
is.
Publicly from the president.
It's actually a little strange at how quiet that has been.
I'm telling you, it's the Michael Jackson glove now of politics. You've seen people also wearing bandages, like
yeah, you're right. There's
act of solidarity, right, and to get attention.
All right, but we are at the RNC. Like if we see someone 2 weeks from now just walking down the street with a bandage on their ear, that'll be different.
A couple of important updates as well, talking about President Biden. He has COVID right now, and sources suggest he is becoming more open to the possibility of stepping aside. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first on the illness.
It's a tremendous hole in security.
And the investigation into the attempt on former President Trump's life. That was ABC News crime and terror analyst. We've had him on the program before, ABC's Brad Garrett. He's a former FBI agent. I'm just talking about how inexplicable it is, this breakdown in security. And the more we learn about the attempt on the former president, the worse it's getting for the Secret Service. Every bit of news coming out is like, really? 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 ABC's Andrew Fujii has more on the timeline. Now, according to lawmakers who have been briefed on this from investigators, the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was on law enforcement radar at the rally long before those shots were ever fired.
At 5:10 p.m., Crooks is first identified as a person of interest, a full 62 minutes before the first shots. At 5:30, he's spotted with a rangefinder, which can be used to determine distances for target practice. At 6:02, Trump takes the stage. 6:12, Crooks fires those shots. A sniper then killed Crooks 26 seconds after he fired the first shot.
Erik, you and I have been around some of the strongest security now the last several days, as has anybody who's been involved in this event. Mm-hmm. How long would it take, do you think, for any of the law enforcement officers we've seen to see something suspicious before they were up into you around here?
Like, 5 seconds?
Right? The fact that there was something odd going on here for an hour before this shooter was able to get off those shots on a former president and the GOP nominee is simply inexplicable. Calls for the director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, to resign. She's been here in Milwaukee. In fact, inside Fiserv Forum on Wednesday, Cheadle was chased down by a pair of U.S. senators.
This is exactly what you were doing today on the call.
Stonewalling. Attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump answers.
So they're walking after Director Cheadle through the concourse. That's Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming, Senator Marsha Blackburn, Tennessee. You heard both of them there talking. Now, before that moment, Erik, they were sort of in a quieter area just off the convention floor. It looked like they actually were in an upper-level concourse. And they were saying, like, you need to, we want answers. Apparently there had been a call earlier in the day, and she was telling them, I'm focused on this event right now, keeping this convention safe. I will answer your questions. She apparently has been subpoenaed by the House Oversight Committee and has said she will testify on Capitol Hill on Monday.
Seemed a little strange. It seemed like a photo op moment.
I think they were rolling.
To be yelling at her in front of media. You can do that behind closed doors, or you can wait until that congressional meeting. I'm not sure why they had to scream at her like she's some lawmaker or something. I don't know. That seemed odd.
I did have the observation. I said, this is just like Senate hearings go. It's all the senators talking, but not the person. Like, is there a question?
Monologuing, yes.
I'm not suggesting at all that Director Cheadle doesn't have a lot to answer for here.
No, yeah, we're both on the same page there.
In that moment.
Yeah.
As for President Biden.
President Biden arriving in Delaware after testing positive for COVID. The White House describing his symptoms as mild.
Not many people actually this morning talking about that here around the convention, although in fairness we haven't seen a ton of folks. Said the couple of people that some of our other teammates here at WTMJ have talked to about that diagnosis, about the fact that the president has COVID. People have been friendly. They're like, look, I disagree with the president, obviously, but I don't want him to have COVID, and I don't wish him poor. So folks saying the right things here in and around the convention. That was ABC's Perry Russum. The president was not wearing a mask when last seen getting off Air Force One. He left the campaign trail. He was out in Nevada, cut that visit short, and he's going to wait it out at home.
After an effort to make Biden's nomination official by the end of July through a virtual roll call, the Democratic National Committee Rules Committee says no virtual voting will begin before August 1. The move possibly intended to buy more time to convince Biden to drop out of the race.
That's key there. And CNN reporting that sources are telling them the president is now asking in private. He's been meeting with advisors and other lawmakers in private asking whether advisors think Vice President Harris can win, which is the reason that it's being suggested he might be at least open now, or more so than he was a week ago, to stepping aside.
And that's a good question, because that basically, there's all this talk about all these other candidates or possible candidates. No, it would be Kamala Harris. Like, she would, 99% likely, she would become the nominee, and his concern, okay, can she do it? Can she get over the hump and beat Trump?
Did you see Klein here the other day?
I saw him once running somewhere. It looked like he was on deadline.
I wish we could have caught him.
Yeah.
ABC's Washington bureau chief, Rick Klein, is here in Milwaukee, and he's got some new polling on the president.
A new poll out from the Associated Press, 70% of adults overall and 65% of Democrats, 2 in 3 Democrats, even now, just weeks before his own convention, think that Joe Biden should step aside, even as Biden is defiant. So his team trying to push back on their own allies to say, even if he's down in the polls, it actually doesn't mean that much because they have the field game. I'll tell you, that is a hard argument to make at this moment in time.
You talked with former host here on WTMJ, Charlie Sykes. We ran into him at Fiserv Forum the other day. He had some interesting thoughts on just how absurd that conversation seems.
Yeah, right. And also, I mean, he seemed to think that it's starting to trigger now because of what Congressman Schiff has called for, because of what others are now saying, that this seems to be really pushing that ball. It's going to start snowballing even more.
At 8:24, still much more ahead here from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. This final day, this culmination of all these events that we've talked about for years. The president expected in prime time to deliver his speech and accept the nomination tonight, right here in Milwaukee. 8:24 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, let's get an update on the roads.
You bet. Northbound on 43, backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound still looking pretty good. Westbound 94, back up start around 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then again Highway 100 all the way into Waukesha County. By the time you hit Elm Grove Road, you should be okay. Westbound 894, we got a little bit of a backup out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street through the construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's Tori Lowe from 1017 The Truth, and violence is a problem which impacts us all, but together we can make a difference. Join me and the 620 WTMJ team on Saturday, July 20th from 9 a.m. to noon for our second annual Walk Against Violence. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community and encourage for a safer, stronger Milwaukee. Visit 1017thetruth.com to sign up today. Together, we can bring an end to violence.
Don't have to take my word for it. Vince Vitrano for your comfort guys. Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and electrical. We've been talking about the air conditioner service. Even when your AC isn't broken, why it's a good idea to get Nicole and Brent over there, family-owned business, booking appointments right now for an air conditioner tune-up. And actually, we've got a nice break of the weather here where we don't have those hot and humid days. Highest temperature I see on my 5-day forecast, 83 degrees. So now would be a good time to get Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and electrical out to your house, get that air conditioner tune-up. And here's some advice from We Energies. They recently put out a news release talking about money-saving tips for the cooling season, and they wrote right in there, schedule air conditioner maintenance. Yearly tune-ups keep air conditioners running safely and efficiently, saving money in the long run. Absolutely true. Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and electrical. I had them out in spring, not too late to get on the schedule now. They'll come out and get that air conditioner running in tip-top shape. Get it all cleaned out and running efficiently, saving you money. Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and electrical. Tell them Vinny sent you. 262-664-9284. Your Comfort Guys. That's yourcomfortguys.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Emmy nominations are out, and the hottest show right now has the most nominations. FX restaurant series The Bear, just racking up the noms, but is it really considered a comedy?
With the Emmy nominations Wednesday morning, The Bear set a record for most nominations ever for a comedy, 23. And among the shows it's up against for outstanding comedy is the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, with its 11th nod in that category. Curb showrunner Jeff Schaffer tells me it's kind of weird to be up against a show like The Bear.
I love The Bear. Bear's a great show. It's not a comedy, and I don't think they think it's a comedy. No one thinks it's a comedy, and there's a reason for that. It's not a comedy. It's a really good drama.
We'll see which show wins at the Emmys September 15th on ABC. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
So why is it submitted as one then? Well, there's a couple of reasons. USA Today has a great explanation. First of all, the networks and streamers can submit into whatever they feel like it. So that's one. They can just decide, okay, we're going to submit this as a comedy. And the reason they would do that, according to USA Today, is that comedy categories are traditionally less competitive than drama. It's easier to win.
Right. Okay, all right.
I don't know, but come on. It's just easier.
Well, that's a crummy reason to do it, like go up against the best in your category. I just question of like what is a comedy? Who gets to decide what's funny and what's not?
And
or
then,
just because their intention wasn't to make it a comedy doesn't mean it's not.
Well, I suppose. Right? What, if it has one joke in it or one light moment?
Yes, it has.
Then...
No. Well, you want me to set a number? How long is the show? Is this an hour-long show or is it a half hour?
I remember.
Or is it like a 40 minutes? I don't know. So you need 17 jokes in order for it to be a comedy.
You know what
is that the number?
Yes, that's what I want.
The over-under is 17. You have to be over it.
So the Milwaukee Press Club, they do awards once a year, and when I was news directing many years ago, I submitted Greg Matzik for Best Writing in one of our audio categories, and I submitted it under the wrong one on accident. I submitted it as print. And he still won.
See?
And I was like, so the judge in that case probably realized, or didn't realize that it was the wrong category, but still gave him the certificate.
I guess just because you didn't set out to do a comedy doesn't mean it's not hilarious. Is it? Have you seen the show? It's funny, right?
Yes. Well, it can be. Yeah.
So you don't think it's a comedy?
Well, it's good enough where it can win Best Drama. Why take the easy way out?
Why don't you just put it in both? Can they do both?
Well, maybe there's probably rules on that. But anyway, Emmy nominations are out. The Bear is going to clean up.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Do you wake up every day raring to go? Or do you dread waking up and worrying about if you are going to make payroll, how to pay your vendors, where to find customers, and how to collect the cash you are owed? Do you know how much cash you need to run your business? Are your books current and up to date to give you that information? If you answered no to any of these questions, we can help. We work with our clients to develop systems and procedures to improve their business and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Where do you want to be in 1, 3, or 5 years? Out of debt? Retired? Not working 60 hours a week? Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we make house calls. Don't wait any longer. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit fredert.com/cancer.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Just before 8:34, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Thursday, July 18th. Our top story, one last chance to impress at the RNC.
I'm Debbie Lazago, westbound 94 on the brakes from 35th Street all the way through the stadium. A little bit backed up heading across the county line as well into Waukesha County. Northbound 43 is slow from the Marquette up to Keefe, almost to Capitol Drive. Westbound 894 still backed up from 20th Street all the way over to Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mid-70s for highs today. Morning sun, afternoon clouds in your storm team forecast. Upper 50s to around 60 for the overnight low. 78 to near 80 for your high on Friday. Right now 64 and sunny in Milwaukee at 8:34. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it is day 4 of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, the final day of the RNC. At his morning press briefing today, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says there were a handful of arrests just east of the convention's security perimeter on Wednesday evening.
2 people were arrested for fights in the first situation. The second incident involved disorderly behavior outside a bar that ultimately led to 5 arrests. There was one convention-related arrest of a person who allegedly stole tickets and then attempted to sell those tickets. Milwaukee police took that person into custody.
Despite their arrest, Mayor Johnson said law enforcement officials had called the evening, quote, largely uneventful. At the RNC, delegates have learned that President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. Dixon Wolf from Green Bay telling WTMJ he's wishing the president well.
Obviously, I don't agree with his policies or what he stands for, but I would never wish any ill on the president, whoever he is.
Biden is self-isolating at his Delaware home. The White House says the president is dealing with mild symptoms. The RNC has brought hundreds of recognizable faces in the Republican Party to Milwaukee, but one familiar face is missing, and he's a Wisconsin native. A notable no-show for former Speaker of the House Paul Ryan. Former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he should be here.
Paul Ryan should be here. And maybe when he sees all the people that come out and said, we're going to get behind Donald Trump, we need a change of direction, I think Paul may see the light and come back into this party again and be a leader. He's a wonderful man, a great leader, and it's too bad he's not here.
Ryan has publicly said he would not vote for Donald Trump in the 2024 election. And there's always at least one Wisconsin connection, even as far away as Guam, an American-controlled island north of Australia and east of the Philippines, just over 7,300 miles from Milwaukee.
And one of their delegates, Van Shelley, has a strong connection to Wisconsin.
Even though I'm a resident of Guam for 45 years, our family is also season ticket holders of the Packers, and I've been a Packer fan my entire life.
Of course. Shelley shares the tickets with his 2 sons. They're all also shareholders.
All the way back to Bart Starr and Kramer in the Ice Bowl, and I was 12 years old at the time, and I said, this is the team I love. We have club seats at Lambeau Field. So.
Well, you got to take your delegate friend to a Packer Packers game then, right?
This is the first time I hear about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're holding out on him. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Shelley says he is planning to attend the Packers 49ers game at Lambeau Field this November. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. At the opening bell, the Dow is down 53 points this morning to 41,145, while the NASDAQ is up 94 to 18,091, and the S&P 500 up 12 points to 5,602. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 838.
Hey, restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza for free. So don't even think about turning that oven on today. Enjoy a free pizza at the Mine Chef. Buy one pizza, get one free. Buy 5, get 5 free pizzas. Any size, any quantity. Hey, coaches, bring in your soccer and baseball team today for free pizza. Your players will love that huge game room. It's super affordable. Team bonding, it's great stuff. Bring in pizza today for your hardworking employees. Order now, pick up your free pizza shortly. They're going to appreciate you. Don't cook, take your family to the cool and comfortable Mine Shaft for free pizza. The Mine Shaft, it's right there in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Buy one pizza today. Get one free. Just walk on in. It's big food. It's big fun. It's big value. And the Friday fish fry is all you can eat. Just $6.99. Wow. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for J.D. Griffiths. I'm telling you, if you're ever looking for a way to improve the look of your house, garage doors is the easiest, best way to do it, especially from J.D. Griffiths, because they've been doing it for more than 70 years. Milwaukee's detached garage builders and provider of premier garage doors, J.D. Griffiths. And J.D. Griffiths offering an exclusive offer to you right now, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222. Mention me, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ and schedule your free estimate to claim your deal from jdgriffiths.com.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
20 minutes before 9 o'clock on this final day of the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee. Things starting to heat up around the broadcast center. Eric Trump making the rounds right now. Former President Trump's sons doing some radio in the area. So people are starting to fill in.
Yep. On this the final day. One more night tonight.
I want to share this really interesting interview that WTMJ's Julia Fellow did. You know the photograph at this point. I'm not talking about the video of the attempt on former President Trump's life just this last week, and seems like weeks ago already, doesn't it?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Not talking about the video, but there is something about a still photograph. Still, right? Even though we have video, so many things that happen now. Oh, why don't you just watch? There's something about a moment captured in time, and perhaps maybe the best circulated photograph from that moment was immediately after the president had been injured. He's up. You can see blood is on his face. The American flag is in the background, and he has his fist raised, and that's when he was yelling, "Fight," to the crowd. Julia Fellow talked with the Associated Press photographer who took that photo.
I knew the second that this had started that probably the most important thing I'd ever cover. So I was just trying to do a good job, stay in the moment, keep a level head.
That's chief photographer for the Associated Press, Evan Vucci, who took the photo of former President Donald Trump moments after an assassination attempt. It shows blood streaked across the former president's face, his ear bloodied, and pumping his fist in the air with the American flag behind him. The award-winning photographer shared moment by moment how he ended up taking this photo.
President Trump walked on, and I had my long lens on, and over my left shoulder I heard several pops.
Take a look at what happened.
I knew immediately it was gunfire, so as I looked through my long lens, I saw Secret Service agents beginning to rush towards the president. I made a few frames of that, and then I ran to the stage, and I got my wide-angle lens, and I just started photographing everything I could.
Today's technology got the photo of Trump's bloodied face published within minutes.
My cameras that are plugged into an Ethernet cable, and it's going to my editors. So I'll take a few photos, and I'll hit a button to send the photos to my desk. By the time President Trump had been put into the SUV, so I had 36 photos out to my desk, and I was just happy that I did the job. You know, you never know how people are going to react to anything that you do.
Former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson believes this photo resembles another moment in history.
And putting his arm in there and saying, fight, with blood running down, the American flag behind it, that's an iconic photo, just like Iwo Jima.
Vucci, however, believes it is up to each person to take away what they see in the photo of a former president seconds after an assassination attempt.
I can't control how people would react to anything. I was just glad that I was able to do the job.
And this award-winning photographer will be snapping more photos of former President Trump when he takes the stage tonight in Milwaukee. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Text the word photo to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. We'll send you a link to that picture as well that we've been discussing. You know, it's interesting. He talked about how quickly he's able now to send those photos back to his editors. Mm-hmm. I tell you, I'm going to date myself here, but the first time I recall seeing a photojournalist, it was a friend of ours, Jeff Phelps. You might have known him, longtime Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel photographer, also shoots for the AP and others. I was on the campaign trail with then Vice President Al Gore. He had started the day in Green Bay, was making his way down through Fond du Lac, and then ended in Waukesha for a rally. And we're in the motorcade on one of these media buses where we all are. Yeah. This is the year 2000, and I see Phelps has got his laptop, and he's got all these pictures laid out on the computer. And I'm like, whoa, dude, how did you do that? He's like, yeah, I put them right into the computer, and then I don't know, trying to figure out if the technology was such that he could send those in mobile or if he had to wait to plug into something somewhere.
I was going to say, and think about how big those files probably were at that point to be able to move them. And
take a half hour to send one via cell, maybe.
It looks awful, too.
But I remembered that. I just remember that moment of thinking this is going to revolutionize how we do photojournalism, not just moving pictures, but obviously those moments as well. And to hear this photographer talk about how he got that stuff in to the editors in seconds, and how right there. I also thought that was interesting. He said, it's not my job to determine which one is the picture. I take the pictures. These editors, that's the one. Fascinating. Again, you can text the word photo to 855-616-1620 if you want to see a look at that picture. And thanks to Julia for tracking that interview down. 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What's happening on the roads here, Deb?
Well, we got westbound on 94 looking a lot better. Just a little bit backed up right through the stadium interchange. Northbound 43, that's still kind of heavy out of the Marquette all the way up towards Capitol Drive. 894 westbound still heavy, 27th to Forest Home. The rest of the system, so far so good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, Saturday we got to go and clean out the storage room and get that thing organized. Boy, that doesn't sound like a real good time, does it? Let's change that. And I've got a special offer for you this month. Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee, and a great reason to act now. They call it that. Katie and Dan, their wife-husband team, it's their company, and they'd love to see you at the showroom out there in Waukesha or pay an in-home visit. Organization, they say, it's their passion, and it's not just about getting things tidied up. It's about transforming your life. Now, that is Inspired. And it's true. Reducing clutter can reduce stress. Inspired Closets home solutions are not only functional, but they're beautiful as well. A lot of companies do closets. This is why I like to tell you about Inspired Closets Milwaukee, because they're local. Katie and Dan and their team, they'll listen to you. What are your frustrations? What are your needs? What's your budget? And then they custom design solutions to fit. Easier than ever to afford. Here's the deal. Save 10% off, plus get 12 months of free financing when you tell them Vinny sent you. This deal runs through July 31st, so you got to move now. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
This is your chance to be a professional baseball player.
People still don't recognize us.
For 5 minutes. Virtually, of course.
We're contenders now.
Welcome to Virtual Baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Play ball!
Virtual Baseball is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Honest pricing guaranteed. Visit SidingUnlimited.com. RNC edition.
Yes, so here's what we're going to do. Today we have two special players playing virtual baseball. One of them is WTMJ Steve Scafidi, the host of the Political Power Hour, who's been everywhere this week, has talked to everyone. And the other contestant will be Alabama Senator Katie Britt.
Wow, Senator.
Yes, thanks to WTMJ's Jack Groff.
How about that?
Yes, so here's how the game will be played. I don't even know if you've ever played virtual baseball, Steve.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Here's how the game is played. There are 20 Brewers highlights. They're labeled 1 through 20. You and the Senator will each select 3 highlights from the same list of 20. Your score is determined by the number of runs scored in the highlight. Whoever has the most runs scored wins the game. All right?
Yeah, not the first time you said that.
So the Senator, she's going to go first since we recorded her answers ahead of time. Are you ready? Okay, so Senator Britt.
Okay, 4.
Okay, so she's going with number 4 first. All right, so number 4.
Senator Britt, I'll remind you, she gave the Republican response, did she not, to the...
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I saw her a couple times yesterday. Yeah, a lot of attention around
State of the Union address earlier this year.
Joey Ortiz.
2-2 pitch, high fly ball, deep left field, racing back is Langford, onto the warning track, at the wall, he leaps and is gone! Joey Ortiz!
Oh, good start for the Senator.
Sent him to the All-Star game!
So that's a 1-run.
She's up 1-0 on.
All right.
Not a setup, is it?
Well, we'll see.
It's not fixed or rigged, is it?
No, everything is anonymous. Okay.
Just checking.
Senator Britt, your second number, please.
Okay, 4.
No, she already gave 4. Hold on.
Okay,
You should keep saying that same one. No, next one is this.
and 12.
All right, she said 12 there.
12.
So number 12 today is Jake Bowers.
1-1. Bowers rips one down the right field line. That's a fair ball. It'll roll all the way into the corner. Off to the races for Monasterio. He's around third. He's headed for home. He will score. Arms are up, saying the ball went out of play. Will they put Monasterio back at third? I think they're going to. And what tough
I remember
luck for
that
the
one.
Brewers. That ball got stuck.
Oh, yes.
Come on. All right.
Where's her outs at?
So that's. I mean, it's not a run score though. You got to prevent the run. So right now she's only got 1 run. So
All right,
one more swing for Senator Britt. What's the number, please? I'll make sure I get it.
19.
All right, so it says
19.
19 there. That's Reese Hoskins.
Ooh.
The 2-1 pitch. Drive in the left field. Dahl is going back. Dahl on the track. Dahl at the wall. Goodbye. Philadelphia home run. Reese Hoskins into the seats in left. The cheers turn to boos. And the
that was against Phillies. All right. All right, so it's a 1-run home run. So Senator Britt ends up with 2 runs.
2 runs.
Now it's your turn, Steve.
Number 7.
Number 7 today. Okay, let me get there. Number 7 is Willie Adames.
High fly ball, deep right field. Fairchild back at the track at the wall, and he brought it back.
No.
Fairchild just robbed Willie Adames.
It's a low-scoring game.
That never happens either.
This is a low-scoring game.
Robbed. Okay, what's your next one?
All right, 11.
For virtual baseball.
Number 11
he
you said?
wants.
Okay. Number 11 today is Jake. Wait, no, we already had that. It's Oliver Dunn. Oliver Dunn.
2-2. And Dunn took a call, third strike with a slider on the back door.
No.
Dunn having a few
That's not going to do it.
Clint Vondrak. Pretty good pitch.
All right,
You're
so
still up 2-0, buddy.
How about lucky number 13?
Hey, we do have some grand slams in here, so we'll see
I'll
what
take that.
happens.
That'd be
All
great.
right. Sal Frelick.
Liner to left. That's a base hit. Headed towards the corner. 1 run is in. They'll send Bowers around third. Crawford has it, puts it in his back pocket. Sal Frelick with a 2-run double.
All right.
Just like that, it's tied.
Okay, so, I mean, you're not going home with Brewers tickets. We're going to let a fan call in for those. So would you like to try to win the game? It's tied now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you can win.
Just leave it in a tie.
You want to tie the Senator?
What's it matter?
All right, give the tickets away.
Oh, all right.
I don't know what the rules are anymore. I'm not doing this.
We made them up as we went. That's a lot of effort to get Senator Britt as well.
Yes, appreciate Senator Britt for being kind enough to bring.
What about me? What about me?
You were here anyway.
We're going to have Eric Trump do it with us.
Yeah, he's sitting right next to us.
Clearly, he's busy at the moment.
Let's do this.
Can we give away
caller
the tickets?
number what?
Yes. Caller number 7 right now.
Okay, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620, WTMJ talk and text line. Caller number 7 gets a pair of tickets to see your Milwaukee Brewers.
When I joined the Braves, guys like Warren Spahn and Eddie Matthews, Henry Aaron, I was the first Milwaukee native to ever play with the Braves. The first native Milwaukeean to be signed by the Braves at that time, and the first native Milwaukeean to be sent to the minor leagues by the Braves. So they saw enough of me quickly, and I didn't last very long.
Cause it's a 1, 2, or 3 strikes to out at you.
One more time before 9 o'clock here, Debbie.
All right, westbound 94 still slow from 35th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange on 94 westbound. Northbound 43 is a bit backed up from about, I'd say about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Westbound on 894 heavy from 27th Street all the way through to about Forest Home. Elsewhere, everything else is looking pretty good. Just watch for some possible delays heading into those security checkpoints into the downtown area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Vince Vitrano here from Wisconsin's Morning News, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every segment, every interview, and every bit we do on the show. Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
I am jazzed as hell.
You can do it .com too. .com. I'm .comming right now.
It's about 110 degrees in this room. Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Bullseye!
Subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast wherever you get your podcasts or listen live on WTMJ.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here from Wisconsin's Morning News. Summer in Wisconsin is heaven for me. It's heavenly when you're in Wisconsin in the summer, especially when you're on the lake or maybe you have a cold one. Whatever's happening, it's phenomenal in the summer here in Wisconsin. But the thing you notice is you don't sleep very well because you got the achy joints from all the running around, from the hiking, the chasing of the grandkids or the children or whatever you're doing. And there is a way to help with that. QC Kinetics, because you have arthritic joint pain, but you don't want the surgery, you don't want the drugs, and you don't want all the downtime. QC Kinetics is the way to go. It's the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerates your own body's healing properties. It revitalizes your joints so you can move again. So here's what you should do. If you're not looking for surgery, call QC Kinetics. There's 2 locations right here in southeast Wisconsin. There's one in Greenfield, there's one in Mequon. Here's the number. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
You're going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got water in your house, you need Guthrie and Fry. We've got their water softener. We get their salt delivery. We've got reverse osmosis that protects the water in our house. They've got the best people. They've got the best products. It's Guthrie and Fry. They treat their clients like their family. I feel that every time they're in our house, you need Guthrie and Fry. Fixed rental rates, convenient salt delivery programs. It's gfwater.com.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. And the WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Perfect day today, albeit a bit on the cool side for July. High of 76 degrees with a lot of sunshine. Clear and cool tonight, low down to 61. We're at about 64 degrees now in Milwaukee on this final day of the Republican National Convention.
Long day here at WTMJ for the final day of the RNC. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow. Got to give a big shout out to John Tyler for all his help, the engineer who's here all day, every day, doing all the hard work for us here to keep us on the air.
Yeah, WTMJ's Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi, loaded with important guests coming up next.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're in town for the RNC or you just love a world-class free dinner, experience the historic Fox & Hound